When we were young, we knew everything. What's going on, everybody? It is I, your host, Michael Garza. 4-3. Trifecta. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Check this out, dude. Game Boy Color. Look at that. Game Boy freaking Color, dude. I can't believe it. I mean, this is blowing my mind. Yeah. Blows my mind, dude. But yeah, this is great. So I got Tetris on here. And I also so I found this in a tote box. Check it out. Found this in a tote box. Of all fucking things, dude. Tiny Lion Gaming says, no way, that's the one I had. Really? Do you guys think I might have stole this from Tiny Lion Gaming by accident? Just kidding. But yeah, check this out, dude. So Game Boy Color, turn it on. Boom. So I used to have the Pokemon Blue edition. I used to have Pokemon Blue. I think my brother had the red version. But check this out, dude. The speaker's a little faded. Yeah, you could barely hear the music. Tiny Lion Gaming says, bro, we had the same color Game Boy. We're kindred spirits. Yes. Dude, this is amazing. No, when I found this, I was very excited because as somebody who loves handheld gaming, I've been looking. Well, it started with me finding my PSP in a tote box. So I found my PSP in a tote box. Hold on, let me show you guys real quick. So I had to go to my local video game store to get a new battery for this. My old PSP, dude. Check this thing out. PS motherfucking P. So the battery that was in it was basically expanding, and the battery was cooked essentially. So I had to purchase a new battery for like $20. Actually, the new battery was $15, and the charger was only $20. So it was well worth it in the end. But yes, look at this. It's still charging, but let me turn it on real quick so that way you guys can see. And I got I got Tekken Dark Resurrection in there too right now. Check it out. Tekken. See if we can play it this way. It's gonna be new to me here. So Tiny Lion Gaming says, "OMG, they're selling for $130 on eBay. The Game Boys, I mean, hell yeah, dude, that's kind of tight. I mean, it's definitely a lot of money for sure." Check it out, dude. Tekken. Mother effing Tekken, bro. Small Wiener Gang. Yay area, dude. Hey, yay area 7, dude. We're doing. I'm just gonna do a quick little Tekken showdown, real quick. You know, I do, and I don't. I do have a second webcam, and I was thinking it would be interesting for me to use the second webcam to be like to view what I'm doing on here. That would be very fascinating. I don't know how I would set that up per se, but it would be very fun to try to set up anyway. You know what I mean? Get ready for the next battle. Tiny Lion Gaming says, I'm going to buy a. Well, man, I don't know, dude. Game Boys are amazing, dude. Game Boy is one of the best, dude. Oh, I got you. Hell yeah, dude. Tiny Lion Gaming in the clutch, dude. TLG's doing the right stuff, brother. TLG's doing the right shit. Come on, man. Come on. See if I can beat her. Hold on. But yeah, it's fun playing this game again, man. So, good old Tekken, brother. Love Tekken. I'm going to put this back on the charger, though. All right, let's get to some reactions. But heck yeah, man. Tiny Lion Gaming's got the. Oh, you got an emulator. Okay. That's cool. That's sick as hell, dude. No, I think it's just fun. Like, I enjoy having the little physical device. It's so much fun playing games on these than it is to play a game on a smartphone, for example. And the reason I say that is because playing a game on this or the PSP, you had physical buttons you could touch, right? Instead of having to touch the screen, you touched physical buttons. You could feel the push, you could feel the press, you could hear it. And I felt like I'm just a tactile interface guy. Call me old school. But at the end of the day, I'm just a tactile interface guy. That's how I operate, man.
Bill Burr and Shaq went viral for this. Is this
So Bill Burr descended his career. I think Shaq did, or I don't know. But yeah, I much prefer the tactile interface. It's just much more responsive. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit, you guys. I want to apologize. In fact, if anything, I feel like I'm losing my voice a lot. Maybe I just need to rehydrate a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I think I'm a little more dehydrated. I think I'm a little more rehydrated. My bad. But yeah, Tiny Lion Gaming, I completely agree, man. The tactile interface is the best, and that's why I much prefer the PSP. I feel like I can retain my attention span when I play games on like a PSP or a Game Boy versus playing a game on my smartphone. Like I said, the tactile interface, it just doesn't do it for me, man. I lost my dignity. Why did I lose my dignity? I'm kicking butt, dude. I'm the man.
Is the flat Earth thing?
White people are so dumb they think the freaking Earth is flat. I'm a black guy and I think that. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I'm just going to list random things that have no direct racial connotation, and we decide whether or not it is white people or black people. Conspiracy theories. White people shit or black people?
I would
Black. I'm gonna go black people.
I would go for the
I think black people have way more entertaining conspiracy theories. Not a single white people conspiracy is even nearly as entertaining as Yakub. Like about how like Shakespeare was black, Mozart was black, Beethoven was black,
funny,
like
dude.
everything. Like I think it's kind of funny.
white people started to catch up with the internet.
took it
we
too far.
went in a stupid direction.
Yeah.
Like flat earthers rather than like being these people at the top are the ones we should be upset.
You don't think Earth is flat?
What?
You know, I'm just asking a question.
Do you?
I'm just saying. I took a.
Oh my God, dude.
My question is,
No.
what is the advantage?
I love Shaq, by the way. I really do. But if Shaq thinks the Earth is flat, I will be very sad about this. I will be extremely depressed if Shaq thinks the world is flat. Please, Shaq, don't say that.
The people in power
I hope he's joking.
have that if it's actually flat, I'm thinking it's round. Like what does that get them?
He's trolling?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
interesting.
know. I just
Like
said,
I get the other things.
I just said I fly a lot.
Oh,
One time I took a 25-hour flight and the plane never did this. That's all I said. Plane never did this.
He's got to be trolling, bro. You have to be.
I think Shaq is trolling. I think Shaq is trying to get a reaction out of Bill Burr, and I'm kind of curious to see what Bill Burr's reaction is. This is going to be good.
Be trolling. There's
Hold on.
no
If you're
way.
on a-
You think the plane's
hold on,
supposed to
hold on.
constantly be
There's
dipping
no way.
slowly?
If you're on the map, if U.S. is here and another country is there, when I was going to that country, the plane never did that. That's all I said. That's all I said. I would, because then I'd be like, the Earth is round. But it didn't do that, because I was looking at a map one time I was flying. I was here, and I flew to here. And I stayed up the whole time looking out the window, just to make sure. 25 hours. I
when you
never
fly,
did that.
when you fly, they're phasing these things out because they have newer technology. But when you fly like instrument, they have these things on the ground called VORs, and that's how you if you're in the clouds or above them or wherever,
No way. No way. He's trying to explain it to him.
how you get from point to point without messing up. And if you're too far away, if you're at a lower altitude, you can't get the signal because the Earth is round and
What is this nerd talking about? He's being he's being goy baited.
it's going like that, and you're coming around like this, and it's not until you get within a certain distance that you can hear it. When you fly over to Europe,
I can guarantee you Shaq is going to have the dumbest fucking metaphor response for this.
That's not what I said. I looked up and you could see the moon. And how
I told you.
look up and you see the moon, right? And I said, okay, how come when I look to the West Coast, I can't see LA?
Dude, no way.
I'm just,
but you also realize
Just
that
think about
this
it.
isn't north, that's up.
I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
What is this here? Let me check with my wife if I can joke about that. Shaq acted dumb to show how big of a bitch Bill Burr has become. I think his wife literally removed his testicles. The thing is that Bill Burr, he's such a stupid asshole for what he said about Carmelo Anthony and retweeting that thing. Bill Burr sharing a video defending.
Larson Christopher says AM and FM radio and ham radio proves the earth is round. Absolutely. 100%. Tiny Lion Gaming says the earth is flat. Oh, no. I believe in flat sun theory. Just kidding. Oh, my God.
Anthony. Oh, my. But, man, he used to be so fucking funny, wasn't he? He was one of my favorite fucking comedians. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Bill Burr at one point used to be funny. He used to be entertaining, and now he's become soy. He has become soy. And it's sad. It really is sad. Turley says this was a bonanza for Trump.
Fox News alert, key victories for the Trump administration.
Uh-oh, my boy Hezekiah. My boy Hezekiah messaged me. What up, dude? It's my homie. My homie. Yeah, give me another moment, you guys. You guys gotta give me just a few moments. Yeah, I've been trolling Sal pretty hard because Sal's a dick. There's this guy named Sal, and he's a prick. And that's all I'm gonna say. His name is Sal. He's a douche. Give me just a second. One more moment. Give me a moment, please, to tame your wild, wild heart.
And for the voters who wanted to firmly secure sovereignty at the border as the onslaught of illegal immigration has been stopped under Trump. The U.S. Supreme Court just decided the president does have the authority to end temporary deportation protections, or TPS. That's a program for millions of foreign nationals living in the United States. The Department of Homeland Security was trying to end the TPS program for more than 6,000 Syrian and some 350,000 Haitian immigrants, along with those from other countries. Justices also decided that the administration can restart a policy allowing Customs and Border Protection to curb the number of people that they let in who are seeking asylum at the border between the U.S. and Mexico.
That's good. I honestly think curb it. Seriously. Reduce the count. Reduce the number of people coming through. I completely agree. But anyway, sexy. Very sexy. Oh, Captain Olimer says, hey, Fatsa, Republicans are losing bigly. Actually, Democrats are losing because they believe in the Democrats believe in so much dumb crap. It's insane. It's wild, man.
Both of those decisions went 6-3 in terms of how the justices voted. Let's dig in deeper. This was such a huge issue for voters and really put President Trump on his first term on the map for setting up even more to come. And now in a second term, we're seeing it. Shannon Bream is with me, chief legal correspondent and anchor of Fox News Sunday. And Jonathan Turley is here, Fox News contributor and constitutional law attorney. Jonathan, I come to you first on just what kind of victory we're talking about and how this does further that anticipation and the reason why so many people voted for Trump about securing our border.
This was a bonanza of a day for the Trump administration, particularly on immigration. The court here reversed lower court judges that some of us had criticized for usurping what are largely executive orders. What's particularly telling in the case involving the border is that the Biden administration had lifted a policy called metering that was put into place by the Obama administration. That's how far the Biden people went in trying to facilitate people entering the country. That policy was then reinstated and expanded by the Trump administration. And the issue here is, are you really in the United States if you're not? If you're on the other side of the border.
Yeah.
And the dissent really comes across as almost Clinton-esque, as saying, well, it depends
Maybe.
what the meaning of in is.
Very much, maybe so. Maybe so. I like where he's going with this, though. I love Big Bill Clinton, baby.
Oh, boy.
And, you don't have to be actually in to be in the country.
Shannon, when you take a look at just the numbers of people, I want to toggle to the TPS program now, that temporary protected status.
TPS, baby. TPS reports.
This is something that, again, that DHS has been trying to deal with because there's so many people here under that protection. What does this do?
Yeah, essentially it says that the current administration, now that could be a Biden administration, it could be any administration, a Trump administration, that they have the power to make a decision about when to end temporary protected status. There were two different groups at issue here, Haitian refugees and Syrian refugees. And one of the claims by those supporting the Haitian refugees is that this was somehow race motivated. The court did not find.
What are you talking about, dude? I don't think any of this is race motivated. I think what's happening is it's culturally motivated. I think the problem is we can't just let everybody from every culture come in. I'm sorry, but I'm part Mexican and I'm not a big fan of my own culture. Sorry. Not sorry at all, to be honest. And I have every right to dislike or I can like or dislike any culture that I want. And also, we have the ability, America has the ability to be picky about who they let in, as we should. We can't just let everybody in. How about this? Fix your country. If these people wouldn't want to be coming to America if their countries didn't suck. So what would it take to make it to where those countries don't suck anymore? That is the question. What would it take to make it to where those countries don't suck anymore? That's the big ask. It's the big question. Oh, I got to make a chess move, you guys. Hold on. I got to make a chess move. Right? Got to make a chess move. Hmm. Ooh, I'm not too sure how I'm going to win this. Oh, I actually might have put myself in a really shitty position. I'm going to have to try to checkmate him. Yeah, I actually might have to pull a move of desperation in a chess game. Hold on. I got to check this out real quick. Okay, let's keep going.
Enough evidence of that, saying you can't walk forward with an equal protection charge or any of these other claims because you haven't shown that race was an animus in this case, and finding a lot of power for whoever is running the current administration or the current DHS to make these decisions.
I feel like they just use. Here's the thing. The problem with the left is they look through the lens of everything is racist. The left believes that everything is racist. If anything, honestly, a white person breathing is considered racist to these liberal Karens, if I'm going to be honest. And it's annoying. It's frustrating. We don't like it. We hate it. And we wish it would stop. Will it stop, though? I don't know. We're going to find out.
About when that temporary protected status should end. It was a very heated argument when they had it. But again, as you said, it's a 6-3.
Honestly, I would love to wear a toilet seat around my head. I would love to.
Decision today, a big win for Trump.
All right, talk to me about the 6-3, because both of them were 6-3 decisions. Talk to me about who in the room and how they saw it, and why victories today for Trump. Shannon.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be surprised that these decisions are essentially along party lines. Now, there's a little bit more fracture to the TPS decision. There's some concurrences and different things going back and forth. But what we saw during the arguments actually bled over into a little bit of what we saw from the bench today. Because when they announce these opinions, the author of the majority opinion will make a statement, read and kind of summarize from the bench. The dissent is free if they want to, and they don't always do this. They're free to read as well. It got so heated in one of these decisions, Justice.
Hey, saying what you won't. There's somebody named Saying What You Won't, and I'm not going to read your comment, but you know what? If it's true, it's true. That's all I got to say. If it's the truth, it's the truth. Even if it's an inconvenient truth, as Al Gore would say. Larson Christopher. Hell yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, man. I hear you, I feel you, I feel all you guys. I hear you. I feel you. But no, I see what you guys are saying, though, straight up. I really do. I'm hearing you. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go.
Alito read the majority. Justice Sotomayor read her dissent. That after she read her dissent, there was this unprecedented thing in that Justice Alito then kind of rebutted what she said. I've never seen that happen before. It shows you just how tense things are.
Wow, to be a fly on the wall. All right, now, we are still waiting on some major decisions. I know, right? And you guys have seen all this up close, but the rest of us are just saying, that sounds interesting. We are still waiting on major decisions on protecting girls and women in sports against men who identify, or boys who identify as women and girls, respectively, in public spaces, private spaces, competing against them, locker rooms, bathrooms, that sort of thing, and birthright.
Yes. This should be, by the way, like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Citizenship. Set us up for what's ahead, Jonathan.
Well, we're all, of course, waiting those. We also did get a major gun decision today. Hawaii lost its so-called vampire law effort, which was a major win for the Second Amendment, again showing that blue states are proving to be the greatest allies to the NRA by pushing these ill-considered laws that expand Second Amendment rights. So this was that big win. Now, on birthright citizenship, the administration is really at a disadvantage, in my view. The odds do not favor the court overturning that long-standing.
Yeah, I don't think. Look, I don't think the court's going to overturn birthright citizenship. I just don't see that. I don't see that sort of overturn happening at all. So I just don't. I don't see it happening at all.
Precedent on the transgender cases. I think the states have an advantage themselves. The justices seem prepared to support their effort to limit these sports to your biological gender. But these are all cases that they have to work out the details, so things can change in conference. We've seen major cases where justices that seemed on one side switched in the very end. But that's really where the predictive odds are, I think, right now.
You know, in covering this really cultural divide right now that we're in over boys and girls and men and women in sports, Shannon, one of the things that we've seen happen, and, you know, you don't know if one thing is kind of affecting the other, is that you've got the Olympic board, you've got other entities saying, yeah, we're going to just look at the science in this. We're going to look at, you know, what really drives this more just kind of away from the cultural and the opinions. Does that take over? Does that affect the U.S. Supreme Court?
Well, there's always a conversation about what the science says. So those who are challenging these laws that say if you're born biologically male, you cannot participate in these female leagues and sports programs, they said, well, the science isn't settled about exactly what happens. They're arguing that if you have not gone through puberty, if there have been puberty blockers and those kinds of things, you're not going to have the same advantages. The folks on the other side, West Virginia and Idaho, who are backing these laws and passed them at their state level, said, no, there's a demonstrable fact here that bone density, muscle health, small twitch fibers, all of those things are going to benefit somebody who was born biologically male. I agree with Professor Turley that I think those probably will be wins for the states. We'll have to see. We've got a couple of election cases, too. How many days past Election Day can you count mail-in ballots? That's a big headline, too.
That's a huge question right now. And if we're going to just look at California real quickly as an example, how long did we wait? And that was a primary.
Exactly. And so this case on the ballots came out of Mississippi, and they're arguing. Yeah, and sorry, Professor, not to jump on you there, but yeah, the case out of Mississippi, they're counting several days past Election Day. But, Professor, I'd be interested to see what you thought about those arguments, because they went differently than I thought they would.
No, Shannon, I agree entirely with your take on that. This case technically affects federal elections, but many of our elections are dual state and federal offices. So there's a couple of ways this can play out. If they do say, look, election day means election day, then states like California are going to have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Are they going to bifurcate it to allow more votes to be counted later for state offices? There's a lot of questions there that the court may or may not grapple with.
I am curious to see what the Supreme Court says about that, about voting laws and stuff like that. I think people need an ID. I really do. I think that if you're going to vote, you need some sort of voter ID. You need something to prove that you are who you say you are, because anybody can easily fake. What do you call it? I can't think. Sorry, you guys. I just can't think on that one. Oh, yeah. Anybody could. I feel like anybody could fake a signature. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
With as we await this decision.
All right. Great to have you both. Thank you. It's been a big day for the court and for the Trump administration in particular, and all those people who voted for more sovereignty at our border with different rules and regulations there. Great to see you both. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for
Give me a moment, you guys. Sorry. Hans Rudel just sent a happy poop yum yum. Thank you. Thank you, Hans Rudel, for the happy poop yum yum. We all love happy poop yum yums, by the way.
for all the Fox News latest.
Let's keep going, man. Let's screw it. Hey, batshit crazy. Thank you for the chili for 6 jewels, brother. I appreciate it. Sorry, you guys. Oh, okay. The 5 says Obama says he obviously has room in Trump's head. Let me see here.
Have you heard of him?
All right, so we all know former President Obama is one of President Trump's favorite punching bags, but is there more to the story? Fresh off.
Maybe. Let's see.
Opening his $850 million eyesore of a presidential library, the former commander-in-chief has a theory on why 47 keeps coming after him.
I obviously, have.
I am curious. Hold on, you guys. Before we do this, there's something I need to test. Something I've been meaning to test. Hold on. I gotta make sure that I could still plug my PSP in. Let's see. So I think we're in USB mode. Hold on. So I think is my computer actually detecting the PSP? So if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to see if my computer will actually detect. No shit, it is. It's actually detecting it. No way, dude. I'm able to access my PSP. Oh, this is tight. No way. Hold on. You guys, I'm able to access just by plugging in the PSP. Hold on. This may take a few moments. Yeah, dude, we're in USB mode. There's something I wanted to test out though real quick. Hold your horses. Okay, hold on. This is taking just a few more moments, you guys. I want to see. I want to see what I could do with the memory stick on here. I mean, dude, this is honestly very fascinating to me, and it's been a while since I've been able to access the PSP. So this is wild, dude. It's just fun being able to access the PSP again. I never thought I'd see my PSP, and it's back in my arms. I mean, I got to admit, this is pretty cool, man. Pretty dope. But give me a few moments. I'm going to see if I can do a couple things here. All right. There we go. Now, I'm looking up a couple instructions on how to do a couple things to the PSP. Oh man, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Like straight up, dude, this is so cool. I'm going to make I can't wait to make my PSP work again, man. I mean, this is crazy, dude. Getting the PSP to be able to work again, it's a dream come true. It is. It's an incredible dream come true because I've been a I've been a huge fan of the PSP for a long time. It's one of my favorite gaming consoles ever. Yeah. Okay. So I gotta load what? Sure. Almost there. What you say? Loader? What? No way. Hold on, you guys. So do I just... It's really as simple as that. Oh, this is so cool. So I'm basically going to make my PSP a little more functional, I guess is what this is doing. Huh. Okay. Huh. Well, I guess this is it. Oh. I don't think there could be enough space on here to begin with. Properties. Ooh. I used up the majority of the space on this thing. 297, 101. Yeah, that file folder is like properties stored. What are we doing? We'll figure this out later. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun little project. I don't know if what I'm going to do is working, but if it's going to work or not, it'll be fun to try, though. All right, let's keep going.
A room in his head.
Rent free.
You
do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what
Somebody said,
or what my predecessor did.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I've got work to do.
So, Jesse, by my count, if there is a suite in Trump's head that Obama has, that gets him up to about, what, 6 residences by now?
Trump talks a lot. He says a lot of things. So, yeah, he's going to mention Barack Hussein Obama. Part of that is just he likes to say Hussein. Yeah. But the other part of it...
He's insane for the Hussein, dude. Trump is insane for the Hussein. No, I'm just kidding. That's funny, though, man. That's funny. Okay, hold on. Oh. Okay. Will this actually work? So I'm still very obsessed with getting my PSP to work in a different way. I'm trying to make it function in a way that makes a little more sense, if that makes sense. I got to make this work better. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, wow. This is all I have to do to get this to work. Whoa, dude. So I'm trying some stuff on my PSP. Boom. Trying to get a few things to work for it. Arc 4. And this is where it gets interesting. Like, I'm trying to add different things to it. Huh. You guys, I don't know what to do. I want to get this thing to work so bad. I want it, man. I want it to work. I mean, the PSP is working in many ways, but like, there's a couple things that are just kind of being trippy. Okay, I'll delete those 3 items. And then this folder is empty. Oh, I know where it's at. It's all right here. Yeah, those just need to go away. Cool, I had them on there. Okay, so this actually should have room now for the custom. So I'm trying to like make the PSP work in a different way. I'm not going to explain what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to tweak the PSP a little bit. I'm doing an experimentation on this PSP. It's really fun, though. It's really fun to experiment with older hardware. Like, that's the one thing I love about this, man. Huh.
One size fits all model.
Oh, that's fascinating. So connect your PSP to your PC. It's connected. Let's see. Extract the downloaded thing. Yeah, sure. Okay. So I think I understand this now. Hmm. Okay. Coyote 3, thank you for the happy poop. You know what? I'll figure out how to make this better, how to make my PSP work a little bit differently. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I heard it's pretty simple, and we'll see. We'll see what we can do to get the firmware up to date. In the meantime, though, I was able to clear up some space. I think. Hold on. So I was able to clear up some space in the card on here, which is great, dude. By the way, this is incredible. So I think, it's so funny. I think the little chip that comes with this, I think it only holds like what? It holds like barely anything. Oh, this is only this is a 1 gigabyte drive. This little thing only has 1 gigabyte on it. That's crazy. That's kind of dope, I guess, but kind of crazy.
You like to say
because it's funny that the president's middle name was Hussein. You don't think that's hysterical?
No.
Okay.
I think it's funny. I agree with Jesse Waters. It is funny.
It was the name of the dictator.
Well, which is why he says it, so that people still think that he's
so
Muslim.
problematic.
Well, he did say he was Muslim, and then he cleaned it up. Remember that NBC interview? He said, "My Muslim faith." I don't know what he is. I don't care what he is. He's probably an atheist.
You know what he is.
He is. I know. He's retired.
No God-fearing person would eat a dog.
But, he also says, my great friend Chi, the great Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
He says things all the time, okay? He's not obsessed, but if some guy spied on my campaign, I'd talk about him. And I'm sure Barack Obama talks about Donald Trump all the time because he knows his legacy doesn't stack up. Besides being the first African-American president, all he's done was Obamacare and bin Laden. And Obamacare is constantly bankrupt that we need to keep bailing it out. He knows it. Everybody else knows it. And his library looks dumb. He's like the guy walking around with a zipper down and no one will tell him because he doesn't have any friends.
There's a mental image. Dana, since you're laughing, I might not...
That is pretty funny, man. That is pretty good. Jesse Waters, dude, is so amazing. Like, can we just say that right now? Can we just, all agree that Jesse Waters is, like, the reason that his last name is Waters is because he makes you wet? I mean, Jesse Waters, the reason that his last name is Waters is because he makes me wet, dude. I don't think that's a bad thing. Jesse Waters, bro. I love you, man. You're a stud. You're a stud and I'm a chud, basically. It's so cool, dude. I love having a PSP again, man. I am such a huge fan of having a PSP again. And by the way, this was sitting in a tote box. It was sitting in one of my old tote boxes, so I thought I lost it. I never knew where it went, and all of a sudden I found it again. Kind of crazy after all these years. Still in a great condition, by the way. This thing is still in a fantastic condition. Dude, PSP was straight up one of my favorite gaming consoles of all time. It does need to be cleaned. The screen needs to be a little bit cleaned, mainly because the screen protector was kind of old and it kind of just stuck on there a bit. But, dude, this is just unreal. I love this, man. This thing is amazing. But yeah, I can't wait to play the PSP again. I think it's going to be fun. But yeah, I got to get the updates installed on this thing. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of PSP games. I don't even know how much PSP games are going for. I could always check Recycled Games and see how much they're selling them for. Recycled Video Games North Bend. So we're gonna check out Recycled Video. I don't know if they actually have any. Okay, so they don't actually list the games that they have on their website, unfortunately. In stock, well, yeah. Damn it! It would be so cool if they actually placed like what they owned on the website. How much are PSP games? How much are physical PSP games worth? Physical PSP games generally range from $5 to $40, with common loose discs at the lower end and popular complete in-box CIB titles in the higher end. Rarer brand new titles can fetch significantly more. Loose UMDs, disc only, usually complete in-box. Rare or sealed titles like Silent Hill, Shattered Memories, factory sealed RPGs is the highest collector. I just want to see like how much they're going for on Amazon. Like if I go on Amazon right now, PSP games, I just want to look at like what PSP games are going for. Midnight Club 3 is going for $64.99. Geez. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Yeah, so a lot of the PSP games are going for like $20, and I'm really happy I found my my Tekken game. That was really cool. I may even look around town. PSP 3000, yeah. That's the only thing that sucked about the original PSP is like the memory cards. I think the memory card compatibility is pretty rough. Like I don't like you had to have a specific card. And so I have a Sony Memory Stick Pro Duo, as you can tell. And I think they make ones that like you could put like a micro SD card that has more space in it or something like that, but that's what I'm using in the PSP at the moment. Honestly, I'm just really excited to be able to play this again. Also, really excited to have the Game Boy back. I like freaking stoked, dude. Like this is cool. Like boom. And the fact that the Game Boy Color, man, it's still in pretty good condition. Like I've had this since I was like a kid, dude. And it still freaking works. I think that's the craziest thing about this is it all still works. And the fact is we got Tetris on here. Just blows my mind, man. Tetris. Yeah. Just amazing. It's funny. I remember when I was a kid, when we went to Uncle Gary and Aunt Annie's house, they had an original Game Boy. This thing was a big old clunker. It's definitely bigger than this. The Game Boy Color was a little more slim. This Game Boy Color right here, very slim. But yeah, they had the Tetris on the original game. I was actually thinking I might rack up some Game Boy games. I wonder how much Game Boy games are going for Game Boy games. Oh wow, Tetris is going for $34.76. And look at what I got. I've got the original Tetris, bitch. Oh wow, they're selling a super cartridge 108 in 1 Game Boy Color. Oh wow. That's kind of crazy. So it basically it's a little cartridge that has a whole bunch of games built into it. The question is though, what games are on it? Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, super cartridge. What? Yeah, the fact that this still works is like seriously blowing my mind. I need to talk to some people and see if people got like old Game Boy games sitting around. Do any of you guys have old Game Boy games sitting around, man? But yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. Just having old video games is great. The Amazing Spoderman.
Laugh out loud. Remember when Trump launched his career questioning Obama's birth certificate? Clearly racist. Since then, MAGA loves him.
I mean, it's not. I don't. Hold on. I'm not the biggest fan of what Trump did, admittedly. Annie, I didn't even say hi to you. I'm so sorry about that. Hold on. Let me just reply to this comment. Hey, everybody give a round of applause to Annie. We love Annie on this channel. She is amazing. But Starch Manning is saying, remember when Trump launched his career? On his birth certificate, clearly, right? I do not believe Trump had any ill intentions with his comments. He just didn't trust Obama. And that was it. And look, Trump didn't trust Obama. Trump still doesn't trust Obama. He doesn't. It's true. He doesn't at all. That's just all there is to it. I mean, you guys could get mad at me all you want, but you know I'm right at the end of the day.
Be able to answer. If Obama has a sweep in Trump's head, Biden would have a whole floor. Isn't it because the idea here is that Trump is undoing stuff that came before?
I guess so. And also, like, nobody paved the way more for President Trump than Barack Obama.
Exactly.
Right? So it's basically...
You could argue that the reason President Trump is the president today is because Barack Obama inspired Donald Trump to run. Obama was such a bad president that Donald Trump was like, screw it. I'm running for presidency because Barack Obama is that bad. That's it. It's as simple as that. And I can't say I blame Trump for having those thoughts. Obama was not a good president, dude. I know this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but Obama was not a good president. His policies were trash. And you know his policies were trash. I'm going to win this. I'm going to force a stalemate. I'm going to force a stalemate in this game. I'm playing a game and I'm going to force a stalemate.
If you remember what Obama said about Romney and Paul Ryan, basically it was like you're Hitler and Mao and Stalin all put together, and you want to kill Americans and throw them off the cliff. And then when he said that he didn't have time to think about his predecessors because they're gone, do you know how many times Barack Obama said, "Get a mop, I have to clean this up"?
394.
Probably, well, maybe even more than that, because I would be asked about it all the time. So I think that what the Republicans did, and this often happens, the country will do the opposite of whatever came before. So they went, and then the country did Biden, and like, okay, wait, no, actually, we didn't want.
What's the opposite of Trump?
Well, it was Biden.
Well, the opposite of Trump. So Trump is highly competent, and Obama and Biden were highly incompetent. So Trump was actually the better alternative ultimately, because Trump is competent and can make decisions very quickly, and he can make effective decisions. He's a good leader, man. Hezekiah says the two worst presidents in U.S. history would be the ones that had world wars during their administration. No, it's true. You could say that. You can make that argument for sure. Absolutely. Give me a moment.
Laugh out loud. Remember when Trump signed an exec order shutting down all refugee admissions while making a single exception for white South Africans? Still
Starch
racist.
Manning, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Thank you. Let me read it. Give me a moment to read the super chat. Let's see what you said. And let me put it back up on the screen real quick here. I want to see what Starch Manning said in his super chat. I heard it.
Laugh out loud. Remember when Trump signed an exec order shutting down all refugee admissions while making a single exception for white South Africans? Still racist.
I don't think it's racist. What was happening to, by the way, what was happening to those South Africans, that was pretty racist in my opinion. Yeah, it's racist to let. Yeah, first off, it was racist to let them die, dude. And what was happening? The genocides down there, dude. Come on, man. Come on, Starch. You want. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that, man. I just don't know. I don't know what you could say. I don't know what you could do. Just say it wasn't you. But no, this is crazy, bro. Crazy.
And now, you mean what's the next opposite of Trump?
AOC.
A short socialist woman
It's
who's
gonna
dirt
be a
poor.
strong nominee. Jessica, let's talk about things that never happened. So they asked Obama about the library, and he said, I wish it was less about me. It's the Obama Presidential Library. That, I wish it was less about me. And then she says to him, well, then who should it be about? And he says, Gandhi.
What?
Gandhi.
Gandhi, come on, man. Come on, Obama. Are you serious? Is that what Obama said? Oh, boy. I swear, man, I don't even know what the heck's going on in Obama's head half the time anyway, so. I love Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Gandhi. Yeah, that's who he invoked. Do you just answer me just one simple. Do you believe it?
I mean, so I just finished reading Regime Change.
You finished it already?
Yeah.
It's like 500 pages.
Like 450. It's really good, though. And Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan have this great anecdote about how Donald Trump says that a presidential historian said he was more powerful than like Hitler and Mao and Stalin. And they're like, who's this historian? And he's like, I met him with Gary Player. And then they go and find out who it is, and it's actually Gary Player's caddy. So Barack Obama bringing up Gandhi, it sounds a lot better to me than Donald Trump saying that he's more powerful than Hitler or Mao or Stalin.
In other words,
Well, I mean, Trump is more powerful than all of them in a good way. Trump is, first off, in the sense that, first off, he's not a dictator. Trump is not a dictator. I am so sick of hearing people like Jessica Tarlov and all of the left basically accuse Trump is not Hitler, dude. Stop it. You guys got to stop this shit, man. Stop it, bro. And yeah, no, I love Trump. I think Trump's amazing. I think most people just need to get a grip and need to realize that Trump's the GOAT. Give me another moment, folks. Oh yeah, hold on. Coos Bay area. So I'm going to go onto the Coos Bay area page real quick and laugh at Sal because Sal's a freaking moron.
What's more interesting?
Trump, which is why you told the anecdote, which I've already heard 17 times.
The Gandhi thing, I
Oh,
just find
I'm
very hard to believe. I mean, is he really? We'll talk. I wish my own library were more about Gandhi. Like, I mean, I mean, really. I mean, are we at that point? Greg, take us home. Go.
I have a couple of things I want to say. Number one, it's when you're a successor, it's always kind of normal to think about the person before you as the most powerful name at Fox. I still think about O'Reilly. Once in a while, my thoughts will just.
That's funny, dude. I love Gutfeld, man. He really is a comedic genius, and he's one of the funniest guys in late night. I think Greg Gutfeld is a national treasure, and I think he should be appreciated and loved.
Just go back to me going in on the O'Reilly factor with Bernie sitting there, O'Reilly looking at me, giving me guff, telling me to keep it pithy.
I think about Tucker constantly.
Exactly. But here's the deal. When people say they accuse you.
Well, you kind of do have to think about Tucker because Tucker, in Jesse Waters' case, I mean, Tucker was his original predecessor. And, well, no, not predecessor. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Whatever. Anyway, Tucker was before him. All right. Tucker was before Jesse Waters. Hezekiah says, oh, he's taking screenshots of TJ's live stream and posts them on his page and not sourcing where the screenshots came from. Of course, Sal is doing that because Sal lives in Portland. Sal doesn't. Okay, so Sal is in Portland. All right. I'm not going to say where specifically. And I'm not even going to say his last name because I don't. Oh, I do know his last name. Anyway, Sal's terrible. And he runs this page called facebook.com/Coos Bay area. Well, we could check it out together, actually. I'm kind of bored anyway. First, let me see if I can get it pulled up real quick. Give me a second, you guys. Hold on. So I want to show you this really low IQ. So we have this. So in Coos Bay, we have a page called the Coos Bay area page. It's basically kind of like I wouldn't say a directory per se, but it's basically like a local Coos Bay area news sort of page. And this guy sucks so much. His name's Sal. And give me one moment. Coos Bay area. Yeah, if you guys want to see how ridiculous this page is and how overly political it is for a city page, then be my guest because so this is the page right here. This is the Coos Bay area page. So as you could tell, let me see if we can shorten it out just a tad so you guys can actually see what the hell's on the page. Well, we'll expand the window here in a bit, but yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the trash that he puts up on there. Just another day in Trump's America. Trump refuses to sign the bipartisan housing bill From what I've heard, the bipartisan housing bill was shit anyway. So why would he sign a shit law and make that happen? I don't understand. But yeah, it's basically it's really very much a low IQ Democratic shilling. Basically Sal is shilling the Democrat agenda as much as he possibly can, and that's fine. I mean, look, I understand. Like, if you're a Democrat and you want to shill the Democrat agenda, that's fine. If you're a Republican, you want to shill the Republican agenda, that's fine. But can you at least have some decency to actually shill your political beliefs on maybe a page or a group that is not about an overall city? The problem is Sal is trying to force wokeness and stupid liberal policies down our throats in Coos Bay by turning the Coos Bay area page into his own personal political propaganda page. That's it, dude. ET, what's up, dude? So ET, we're checking out Sal's Coos Bay area page. It's called facebook.com/Coos Bay area. Now, this is basically this is a propaganda page where Sal, who now lives in Portland, who's still running this page for some reason, what Sal does, and it's kind of brilliant in some weird ways, what Sal does, which is kind of brilliant, is he promotes his ridiculous political agenda and tries to claim that Coos Bay is some woke paradise. Look, I don't want woke people to move down to Coos Bay. Please, do not move to Coos Bay if you're woke. We don't need any. Well, we're already on the left coast anyway, so we don't need any woke. We don't need more woke people. We already got freaking the corner chair cowboy, and he is woke enough to suck. Hezekiah says Oregon's Bay Area was originally founded by Sal as well, but then he sold it to Mary. You're the man, Hezekiah. I love you, bro. You're the man. ET says, get rid of food stamps and welfare. They won't have any reason to come. Here's the thing. I'm not saying, well, here's the thing. To be honest, I think ET might unfortunately be right on that one, but ET, you're the man, dude. Anyway, let's keep looking at Sal's ridiculous page. Ooh, let's look at his photos, by the way. He's got some ridiculous fucking photos. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So Garza media. This is me. This is AI generated me, and then AI generated Robin Lopez. And Sal loves basically over exaggerating things, but Sal is basically saying your performance at the last protest with TJ Stocks sickened me. The way you scurried away once people got tired of your behavior in the police. Dude, they didn't call the police. They were pretending to. And also, even if they did call the police, that doesn't. I have every right to walk away, because the only time I would need to stay as if an actual crime was being committed. There was no crime. The only thing I did was I talked to the corner chair cowboy. I gave him a piece of my mind. I told him he's basically an idiot because he was bullying my buddy TJ from coming down to future protests. And I was like, no, we're not going to have corner chair cowboy Evan bully you. That's not the way this works. We're not going to get bullied by some guy wearing a My Little Pony shirt. Hezekiah says they never showed up. Exactly. The reason the cops didn't show up is because they never called the cops. They pretended to call the cops. And even if they did call the cops, you know what? I still would have walked away. Do you want to know why? Because I didn't do anything wrong. And what's funny is when you call the cops and somebody's not actually doing anything wrong, but is trying to talk to somebody. Yeah, I was trying to talk to the corner shirt cowboy. And then they all started yelling like banshees, go away, go away, go. And like, there's a fucking public space and I'm trying to talk to this guy. And then all of a sudden they start whipping out their phones and try to call the police. And they're all fake calling it because it was ridiculous, dude. It was so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, no, that was kind of my lesson though, is because they lie. They lie all the time. They were willing to call the cops on me for doing nothing wrong, right? So if they're willing to call the cops on me for doing nothing wrong, except for trying to talk to somebody, then I have every right to walk away, because if the police did show up, do you want to know what would happen? Those same people would make up stories about me and say that I did things. No. I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow them to basically to defame me. I'm not going to allow it. So I walked away, and rightfully so. And it turns out the police were never called to begin with. So it's like, oh, yeah. No, I walked away though. I was like, dude, you guys are fucking clowns. And the people who go to those No Kings protests, by the way, are super clowns. They are the biggest clowns ever. But yeah, no, this is great, man. I thought this was funny. Oh yeah, check this out though. Here's another photo of me. It's me and Robin Lopez. This is great. These are all by the way, these are all AI generated, by the way. So it's not real. I want to make it very clear that this is all, obviously it's AI generated, but damn, is this some funny shit or what, man? That shit's funny. Yeah, and then, this is the woke bullshit that he has on his platform. It's all woke. But yeah, this is the Coos Bay area platform, man. This is it. This is, if you look at Happy Pride Month. I mean, dude, Sal is basically in the woke Olympics. Sal is doing everything in his power to be the wokest person he can be. Sal wants to be as woke can be. Straight up. Sal is the king of woke. Hezekiah says Sal doesn't like it when people use his own tactics against him. Exactly. The irony is, when I walked away from them, when they said they were calling the cops, Sal would have done the same thing. If the roles were reversed and people were acting crazy like that and saying they were going to call the cops, I'd be like, I'm not dealing with this. You guys are going to lie about me to the police. You guys are going to make up shit. Why would I stay for you to make up crap to the cops? Because these people are more than happy to lie to the cops, is the sad part about this. These woke people that go to these events are way more than happy to lie about the cops. It's disturbing. So yeah, I'm very proud of what I did. I'm extremely proud, if anything. ET says that you and Sal would make a power couple. Absolutely, dude. Abso-freaking-lutely, dude. Oh man, that's great. That's pretty funny though, man. I got to admit. Mud Butter says, Garza, your town hates you. Probably. Do you think I give a shit? Do you think I care? Do you think I care if my town hates me? I don't. This is the difference between me and a lot of people. I mean, it would suck if my entire town hated me because that would make my life a little more problematic. But, yeah, for the most part, it's like, yeah, my goal at this point is when the world the world has become clown world, okay? When the world has gone insane and you're basically punished for telling the truth, that's when you know you live in clown world. All right? Stocks Family Farm says, "Oh shit, did I make it in time for the Sal posts?" Yeah, I was TJ says, "Yeah, they definitely hate me." Dude, these are the woke left though. The woke left, there's not a lot of woke people in Coos Bay. You'd think that there would be because there's some people that show up to those No Kangs protests, but a lot of them are just, there's not many. It's just boomers. It's basically boomers. So we're just kind of looking up. So the reason I go after Sal the way that I go after Sal is mainly because he's gone after my friend TJ. And he's been really relentless in going after TJ. And I don't like it. So I basically have to, I wouldn't say go at him per se, but I have to basically use his tactics against him. And when I say that, I mean, I'm just basically doing what Sal does. I'm just doing whatever Sal does. Hey, that's James Rose, dude. Hezekiah says, Stocks Only Farm, bet you they hate James McHenry more. I love it, dude. But yeah, no, overall, it's just like, Sal has bullied TJ so much that the only thing I could do is basically just tell Sal that he's a bad person, essentially. Yeah. Here, let me read this. This is another example of how my good friend TJ from Stocks Family Farm is bullied by this asshole named Sal, okay? Let's read this together, shall we? It might be a little bit tougher for you guys to read it only because you're all illiterate. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it may be tough for you guys to read it just legitimately because it's kind of small. The text is kind of small. There we go. Okay. You guys might be able to see all of it. I don't know. Maybe. Hold on. Let me branch it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is what Sal posted. I'm going to quote, and I quote, TJ Stock, I want to address you directly and respectfully. None of this is respectful, by the way. Over the past several years, you've attended dozens of Democratic and progressive demonstrations at the Coos Bay Boardwalk. Whether your intention is to document, challenge viewpoints, or simply participate in the public conversation, the reality is that your presence has repeatedly led to disruption, tension, and conflict. Many of the people attending these events are simply exercising their constitutional rights to assemble, protest, and express their views peacefully. They should be able to do so without feeling like a camera is being pushed into their faces, without worry. I'm trying to see this from Sal's point of view, but Sal's an idiot. Anyway, without worrying that clips will later be used to ridicule them on social media, and without feeling anxious about what confrontation may occur next. When you're at a protest, I'm just injecting my own commentary here real quick. When you are at a protest, on a public space, it is all fair game when it comes to freedom of the press. If TJ wants to go down there with his smartphone camera and live stream people, If he wants to go down there and live stream the protest, he has every right to do that. In fact, he could just walk around and film everybody if he really wanted to. It's a public space. If you're on public space on a protest, do not assume that you have a right to privacy at that point. You don't. You're sitting on the side. You're on the sidewalk. You want your stupid signs to be seen. Why would you have your signs out if you don't want them to be seen? Hello. The thing is, it's not that they don't want to. It's not that they don't want to be on camera. They don't want anybody to challenge their stupid ass beliefs. They don't want anybody to challenge them. You know, when somebody challenges my beliefs, you know what I do? I defend my beliefs passionately, but I am willing to listen to the other side. And I don't bully people for not agreeing with me. By the way, I don't bully people for not agreeing with me. These leftists like Sal bully TJ. Now, you know what I love about TJ, by the way? All of these people that he interviews are a bunch of woke ass boomers, and yet he still treats them respectfully. However, there are some that don't treat him very respectfully, and TJ, in kind, will sometimes be disrespectful back, but that's appropriate. If you're disrespecting me, I'm going to disrespect you. That's why I love TJ. TJ matches the energy when needed, when he feels it's right. And every time that TJ has matched their energy, I've always felt like he's in the right. By the way, if they're going to be like, by the way, this isn't really the best way to look at the world, but this is the way that I look at the world. If you're going to punch me in the balls, if you're going to punch me in the fucking nads, I'm going to do everything in my power to punch your balls 2 to 3 times harder. Okay? And then I'm going to pound your butt with my fist. End of quote. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Now, by the way, the reason I say these things, the reason I said that, is if somebody's going to do things, terrible things to me, I'm going to do terrible things back to them. That's what I'm trying to say. So when people do terrible things to me, I do terrible things to them back. It's that simple. It's basically called reflection. It's called mirroring the energy. Frog eat frog, baby. TJ says kindness is not weakness, but kindness is greater. I can agree with that. I love the fact that TJ is a kind soul. That's the one thing, that is the one thing I will give TJ props. He is far kinder than I am. He is far kinder than I am. And he's very passionate. And he doesn't like seeing people suffer. I don't like seeing people suffer either, just for the record. But yeah, no, it's just crazy. Frog Eat Frog says, what's long and green and smells like bacon? Frog Eat Frog schlong. That's what it. Okay, so let's listen to let me read the rest of this real quick. The last several protests have been especially concerning. Arguments have escalated, tempers have flared, harsh words have been exchanged, and on more than one occasion, situations have come dangerously close to becoming physical. Nobody wants to see that happen. And you know what's funny? Every single time those escalations happened, it was because of some batshit crazy leftist who was basically getting into TJ's face. TJ says they're lucky I have patience and grace. And I will say they're unlucky that I don't. I will say I don't have patience sometimes. I don't have I don't know what it is. I can't have patience for these leftists. And it's not even because they're leftists, by the way. It's because of how they act. The moment I saw Corner Chair Cowboy and his demented wife basically get up in TJ's face, start ringing a fucking bell, all right? Ringing a stupid fucking bell. in TJ's face. I was pissed. I was like, and they just kept being dicks to him. They kept bullying him. It was bully, bully, bully. It was nothing but bullying. And so I was very upset by that. I was extremely upset by that. And then from that point forward, I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to do. I had to basically stand up for TJ. Here's the thing. TJ has to maintain a certain decorum. He's got a family. He's got an image he does need to maintain because of that. I, however, have chosen an interesting existence where my image does not necessarily matter. So I have a little more freedom and flexibility than most people. Yeah, dude. TJ says, I just laughed at them and asked if their arms were tired. So they did. Dude, honestly, I thought it was hilarious, man. Frog Eat Frog says 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. But anyway, so let me read the rest of this real quick. So for the safety, comfort, and peace of everyone involved, I am respectfully asking that you stop attending these democratic protests at the boardwalk. This is not about denying anyone their rights. It's about recognizing a pattern that has repeatedly created conflict and uncertainty for those who are trying to gather peacefully. I would say that those people are not peaceful. The way that a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them are unpeaceful. I'm just saying there's a good chunk of them that are pieces of trash to TJ. One lady tried to shove TJ into traffic at one of those events. That was stupid. And all of them, they just treat TJ like shit. And honestly, my patience for them is thin. After seeing a lot of the footage, my patience became thin. I became angry. And I decided, you know what? No more. No freaking more, dude. I don't like the way that TJ is treated down there. It upsets me, pisses me off. It like, ugh. I think when you know how good a person actually is, you want to fight for them. Like, seriously. You want, and you know that they're being bullied, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna fight for this dude. And he's doing everything he can. And he can't look. I think that TJ's taken the best route. TJ has taken the most positive route, and this is good because I've taken the lower, by the way, Sal thought that TJ was his enemy. Sal knows. Basically, Sal doesn't mess with TJ anymore. And that's also because Greg called Sal and told Sal to fucking knock it off because Sal is a freaking idiot. But yeah, I got to give a lot of kudos to Greg as well. Greg stuck up for TJ when it mattered most. So I'm still not the biggest fan of Greg, but as a person, I got to admit that was pretty cool. As a person, that was pretty badass of Greg to stand up for TJ. And I'm looking at this from beyond politics, by the way. Politics doesn't matter to me that much. I know it seems like it does because I react to Trump stuff all the time. I'm just a Trump fanboy and an anti-Democrat. I'll admit that. But at the end of the day, I mean, look, if you're just... I don't know. I think counter-protesting is cool. And that's basically, in a weird way, I mean, TJ is not even a counter-protester. TJ just wants to know what... Basically, TJ just wants to interview people. People who think differently than him. And to be honest, that is probably one of the most honorable intellectual pursuits that anyone can ever have. Hezekiah says a lot of these Coos County, Oregon Democrats that are far left, extremists laughed when they bullied and threatened people before the TPUSA event at the Egyptian Theater. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Fuck. That was ridiculous, man. I'm glad I got to go to that event, by the way. I never actually got the chance to meet Charlie Kirk. I always wanted to. And that never actually ended up happening because obviously he got killed in cold blood. And it still blows my mind that even happened. It still freaks me out, man. But TJ says 100% Greg definitely told Sal to back off. Beyond politics, he's a good dad and a solid dude. Yeah, I think I would like to believe that Sal is a decent individual, for example. But he just, I don't know. Something about him Sal seems like a snake. Deep down, could he not be a snake? Could he change? I like to believe in redemption. Believe me, I'm one of those guys that I really do believe redemption is an option. I believe that you can redeem yourself. There are some things that I do believe are unredeemable in this world. But there, I would like to see Sal just be the bigger man. And I would love it if Sal actually just called TJ and said, hey, look, and I'm not talking about a public apology. I don't really care if Sal publicly apologizes because if he does, it's for show. It's not for real. It's for show. If Sal called TJ and actually apologized to TJ, my God, I would actually, dude, if he called him and actually was really sincere and be like, look, I've treated you shitty, dude. And I what do I got to do to make this right? Like, seriously, if he just did that and said, I just want to apologize. I've treated you like shit in the past. I want to make this right. What can I do to make this right? What can I do? Like and if he came at it with a very sincere and true, honest, heartfelt thing, I would appreciate that. Like if he all it would take is him apologizing to TJ, like actually just calling up and be like, dude, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking for a public apology. I don't care about that. I'm saying that you wronged TJ. Talk to him directly, even if it's a phone call or a text or whatever. I don't know. Phone call's better because you can at least hear if they're being sincere or at least trying to be. Hezekiah says the problem is Sal is never sincere. That is true. And like I said, I like to believe in redemption. I like to believe that redemption's an option. But because I am a guy that I believe in redemption. I really, really do. To the fullest extent, I believe in redemption. Oh, okay. Well, TJ, I'm not going to repeat what TJ said, but yeah, I'm not going to repeat what TJ said, but I'm going to at least let him know I acknowledged it. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel, man. Yeah, it's not kind of, just it's completely how I feel. Give me a moment though. Hold on. Let's read the rest of this real quick. So and I quote the rest of this. This is all quoted from the Coos Bay area page. We want to avoid further confrontations. We want people to feel safe, exercising their First Amendment rights. Most of all, We want our community to move away from hostility toward respect. If you continue to attend these events, I fear that tensions will continue to escalate, leading to avoidable outcomes. Leading to avoidable outcomes. That's interesting. And he's basically, I would like to say that's what we like to call a vague threat. He's basically hinting that if you go down there, something bad's gonna. That's, you know what I mean? It's like, I sincerely hope you will consider this request. That's just, I don't know. Also, I am so sick of seeing these stupid hashtags. Hashtag no kings. Hashtag TJ Stock Coos. Hashtag Stocks Family Farm. Hashtag Coos Bay, Oregon. Sal, who the fuck cares, dude? Frickin' chud, dude. Oh, here we go. I am the grift that keeps on grifting. Until now, grifting loser, get a life. Here's one that he, by his own admission, Garza Media's, aka Michael Garza, aka Garza Financial. You don't have to take my word for it. When someone publicly comments, I am the grift that keeps on grifting, that's not an accusation from me. That's a self-description. The irony is that some of the loudest people attacking others online or even in public eventually tell on themselves. No investigative journalism required. No deep dive necessary. Just read their own words. As the saying goes, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Screenshot for the record. Oh, receipts. Who the fuck cares? Here's the thing, Sal. You do realize I don't give a shit what people think about me, dude. The advantage that I have in this life is I don't give a flying crap what anybody thinks about me. I care about how people feel about their lives. I want to see happy people, just in general. I don't care if people like me or hate me. I just hope that people are living great lives where they find purpose and fulfillment. That matters to me. That matters to me more than if people care about... Dude, do you think I care if people think I'm a grifter? I think it's hilarious. In fact, to be honest, I like being the bad guy on the internet. All right? I love looking like the villain. I don't have to be the villain. I kind of look like a villain. I don't know. But I'm not, obviously. But I want you guys to think I'm the villain. Twirling my mustache. No, but whatever. Anyway, this is what Sal is basically a very annoying person. TJ says he called you unserious as if you tried to be serious. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, look, there are things that I care about, obviously. But for the most part, when it comes to this political shit, I mean, I got to admit, I do care about what's happening with TJ when it comes to, the bullying that's occurring to TJ. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that TJ gets bullied every time he fucking goes down to those stupid fucking protests. But yeah. Hezekiah says you should definitely grow a mustache. Nah, I grow I don't know. I grow a ginger beard, so it doesn't look good. I don't know. I don't look good with a red beard. I just don't. I know plenty of people who have a red beard and they look great. My buddy Nathan, my boy TJ, they look good with red beards. I do not. I also like the feeling of a clean shave. I really do. I like just having no facial hair. It's just, I just shave every day. Well, I would say not every day. I shave every like couple of days. So like every 2 days, I just boop boop. No more facial hair. But Chaz says mega streamers are too ashamed to talk about Trump. Dude, Trump's the man. Why would I be ashamed? Why would I be ashamed of the greatest president of all time? Why would I be ashamed of the greatest president of all time? You tell me. You tell me. Why would I be ashamed? He's clearly the GOAT. Why would I feel sad or why would I feel scared? But yeah, no, Sal does not like me, and I'm proud of that because I don't like Sal. I think Sal is a piece of trash, and he's not a good person, and he's bullied TJ far too often, and yeah, it pisses me off. Oh yeah, give me a second here. There was a oh yeah, let's look at one of my comments. So I think TJ saw this earlier, but yeah, this is so what I did was I pretended to so I went on his page as Wolf's Readings, and this is a page I had made for a buddy of mine back in the day, but he never really did anything with it. So I basically just like oh, hold on. My belt was kind of digging into my side. Oh, but yeah. So this is a photo of me and Robin Lopez. I showed this to you guys earlier, but I don't know if TJ saw it, so I just wanted to run it back again. This is a hot pick. So I basically posted this along with one of TJ and I several times. So yeah, I put, we need Sal to start an OnlyFans page. But yeah, I basically just was like, I was leaving witty comments, really just kind of, I was pretending to praise Sal while also posting those ridiculous pictures of me and Robin Lopez. So that was pretty tight and yeah, pretty funny. Yeah, but basically Sal's a nutbag and nobody likes Sal because he's not a good person. And I mean, like, look, I'm pretty sure nobody likes me either, but at least I could sleep soundly at night knowing that I'm not a total prick. I'm a little bit of a prick, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a total prick. I at least know that I have ethical frameworks, for example. And I just don't think that, I don't know. I just don't think that Sal has a lot of ethical framings, to put it lightly. Yeah, I just don't think Sal's a good person. That's pretty much it. Yeah, like I said, if Sal was just a nicer person, that's all it would take for me to appreciate him.
Of living in their head, or ooh, I must have touched a nerve. It's always after they initiate something. They'll like say something bad or do something bad, and then you respond, and your response is somehow an obsession because they cannot.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing, by the way. That's another thing that Sal does, and that's hilarious because Greg Gutfeld just put shine that in a spotlight. Basically, when I respond, when I am so when TJ is getting harassed by Corner Chair Cowboy and then TJ responds, basically Corner Chair Cowboy and his group of cronies act as if it's a big deal. It's not. TJ has every right to say what he wants to you. He's not, first off, unless he's threatening you, obviously it's a different story, but he isn't. TJ doesn't threaten anybody. That's the problem. TJ's actually a nice guy. I like being the villain. I'm not gonna lie. There's a part of me that does have some. I get off a little bit to it. I'm not really a villain, but I love being an internet villain. And sometimes at the boardwalk, I do like being seen as the villain. I do. I really, really do. It's kind of fun. It's a little addicting. I probably shouldn't enjoy it so much. But I can't help myself, bro. I just can't help it. And I can't help myself. So silver is getting knocked around, man. Oh, silver went down again. Hot. Hot, 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 hot. Dude, silver's down to $50.89. Well, this is the silver ETF, by the way. But it got knocked in the overnight. What the fuck? 50.89? I'll buy that at 50.89. Fuck yeah, dude. That's a steal of a deal. 50.89? You kidding me? It's a great deal. Yeah, anytime I could buy silver at the lowest price possible, I will do it. I will always buy silver at the lowest price possible. There's something I need to look at real quick. Trying to make sure I don't have any reoccurring investments. Good. I have no I have no drip plan. I don't believe in drip, by the way. I don't believe in dividend reinvestment plans that are automatic. Look, I invest my dividends in any way I see fit, and it's not an automatic process. I pick and choose where my dividends go. TJ, hold on. When I say $50, I'm talking about the SLV ETF. The SLV ETF stock price is not going to match. It's not going to match the exact ounce price. So silver per ounce is hold on. Okay, if we look at APMX, so APMEX, silver spot price is currently at $57.10. Now, I think it went a little bit lower in the overnight. It may have went lower in the overnight market, so it could be lower. One moment. I'm going to do one that gets silver at $50.50, if possible, per share. But yeah, no. So the price, okay. So the price of the SLV ETF is not going per share is not going to match the price of silver per share. I just want to let you know that it's going to be totally, totally different. Hezekiah sent a happy poop yum yum. Hell yeah, bro. Hey, thank you, Hezekiah. I appreciate the happy poop, man. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop yum yum. Oh, damn, dude. So you could buy back in. You could buy back into silver at a lower price after the last time you sold it, for sure. Now, I don't know when I have zero clue when silver's price is going to bounce back up. I never know when that's going to happen. But I just buy silver on the dip. I just buy the SLV ETF and wait for the next bull run. This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. I want to make that very clear. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I do. It's a simple formula. I mean, there is really nothing complicated about the way I do my business. It's super simple. Um, I just love it, man. I love silver. I think silver ETFs are a great way to gain exposure to silver because I mean I'm literally getting the spot price of silver almost. And basically wherever silver moves, the SLV ETF matches. Almost. It's almost a near 100% match every time in the direction it goes. Coyote 3 says your party is the only thing that is moving farther left. Everyone else is the same. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Defend what they said. They go, ooh, look who's living rent free in your head. Libs accuse us of obsessing over a number of things. The culture war issues. Who initiated that stuff? It wasn't us. How about race? They say, oh, why do you care about it? We don't care about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Why do you care about race? No, it's like you guys care about race. You guys have made race a big deal is basically, look, one of my arguments is that the left is so race obsessed. Almost to the point of it, not almost, to the point of it being racist, if I'm going to be honest. The left is so race obsessed that they've basically become racist in the way that they approach it.
Race, we never, you guys brought that up. DEI is dead, but you guys started it. They say we obsess over
DEI
bathrooms
was started by the left.
and high school sports. We didn't want to.
Right.
You guys created the bathroom issue and put dudes in girls' sports. And then you accuse us of obsessing.
Of noticing.
Greg's right, man. And Greg is 100% right on this, dude. Greg is 100% correct on this.
Yeah. Suddenly we're noticing. They say we obsess over guns. No, we're not. We just know that you want to take them from us. And you say that. You say we obsess over cancel culture.
That's true. Liberals constantly want to take away your Second Amendment right. They do. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And this is why the left has become so unpopular. They're anti-Second Amendment. They're anti-First and Second Amendment. They don't like free speech. Because if free speech is allowed, by the way, if freedom of speech is allowed, that means their terrible ideas are basically... Their terrible ideas are going to be overshadowed by great ideas. See, the reason that if you want to know what party is doing shitty, if you want to know how bad a specific party is doing, look no further than to how they act. The fact that the left is constantly trying to ban certain types of speech and make it punishable shows you that they are on the wrong side of history first, but it also shows you that they're afraid of your ideas. Freedom of speech matters because it protects unpopular opinions, because the popular opinions don't need to be protected. It is the unpopular opinions that need to be protected. Because it's pretty easy to protect a popular opinion. It's not easy to protect an unpopular opinion, and that's the point of America. We allow people to say what they're thinking. We allow people to convey their thoughts in any way, shape, or form, as long as they're obviously not doing anything truly threatening or truly terrible. You have every right to express yourself through your speech, through what you're thinking, through what you're saying. Tish Lay says they gaslight us about every issue they want to twist. Yes, and it's fucking frustrating. You know, the reason that Trump won and the reason that Trump won the popular vote is because a lot of people are sick and tired. We're just sick and fucking tired of these jackwagons. We are. Hold on. But can you blame us though? I mean, a lot of us are just so tired of. I'm tired of dealing with people like Sal, man. TJ says allow bad ideas so they could be challenged. That's the point of the First Amendment. Yep. Yeah. And here's the thing: all ideas are welcome, and in the free marketplace of ideas, by the way, the shittiest ideas will get thrown out. You want to know why the shittiest ideas will eventually get thrown out naturally and not by force? Is because they're bad ideas and nobody really cares about the bad ideas. And look, what happens is in the free marketplace of ideas, the good ideas usually gain the popularity because people are aware that, hey, this is actually a good idea. Let's go with this idea instead of this shitty one called socialism. Let's try to encourage a more free market society instead of a socialist one, because socialist societies only create poverty and misery. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, socialism and communism are like the epitome of scarcity. It's scarcity. It's scarcity levels of thinking. I've always had a problem with scarcity levels of thinking. I really have. It's always pissed me off in more ways than one.
Culture and wokeism. Again, we didn't invent it, but we'll fight it. And don't accuse us of being obsessed over something that you're trying to take away from us. You called everybody a Nazi, and now you accuse us of obsessing over Plattner. Isn't that rich? I'll stop there. I think I proved my case.
Let's recognize something too. You need ID to get into Obama's building, into that
Yeah.
library, right? So
Is that like a
you got
knock
to have
at, like,
ID.
all the
It's
fake voter fraud?
so let's put the voting booths inside the Obama library.
Don't give them any ideas.
All right, coming up next, Supergirl went super.
Okay, so TJ is saying, what are your thoughts on the White House posting Q posts? QAnon? I don't really know. To be honest, if we're gonna be honest, I don't really know that much about QAnon. I know it's a group, conspiracy group. I've heard things here and there from various news cycles, but I really, at the end of the day, have zero clue what QAnon really is about. But hey, I mean, if a conspiracy theory makes sense, like if it seems like there's some validity to a conspiracy theory, I've got no problems with them posting QAnon posts. If the conspiracy theory has some weight to it. It's got to have weight to it though. It's got to seem plausible, And that's why some conspiracy theories gain a lot of traction. Cuz some of them seem pretty damn plausible. It's just like the whole the people that said like 9/11 was an inside job sort of thing. A lot of people were doubting the root cause of 9/11. That's what happens. And sometimes the seeds of doubt set in about a lot of stuff.
super woke. Now the box office may go super broke.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all
Yeah,
the Fox News
I heard
latest
the
on
new
YouTube. And
Supergirl
catch
movie
full
was. I heard the new Supergirl movie was super woke garbage, and to be honest, I don't know. Seems kind of lame. So Jesse Waters says these people are cold-blooded revolutionaries. Let's see here.
The Bolsheviks are coming.
I will say this about Jesse Waters, that like I always say, the reason his last name is Waters is because he makes you wet, dude. He makes you wet, bro.
What is going on all over this country is progressives are on the march, and I was just before I left the office, I saw Fox Television and their headlines, "The end of the world is coming."
Dude, I love how everybody, the one thing I love about my chat is that people debate in my chat. I love it, man. People go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love the back and forth dynamic of people in the chat and how you guys communicate with each other. It's honestly amazing. And I get off to it a little bit.
Progressives are winning elections. Socialism is taking over the world. Real panic.
Bernie watches Fox. What's up, Bernie? Come on the show. Finally, Sanders has an army, but Mondani's commies are a whole new breed, and the establishment can't see it coming.
We talk a lot about the party being a big tent party, and we should be.
We are a big tent party. That's who we are.
One of the things that makes the Democratic Party great is it's a big tent party.
No, it's not. You guys are freaking elitist scumbags, and you only want votes. You just want votes. So you're basically saying we accept everybody. You're not that accepting, though. In the moment that you have power, you go back to being snobs again. I've seen what the Democratic Party does when they have power. When they don't have power, they're like, oh, please vote for us. We'll do the right thing for you. We're a big tent party. We love you. We love you. And then the moment that they get elected, they're like, we fucking hate you. I don't trust Democrats in power, mainly because I don't trust socialists and communists that have any level of power over anybody else, because they tend to be authoritarian in their personality structure, because they have a predetermined way of how you need to act, or you're going to get punished. That's pretty much how they operate, man.
We need to stay that way.
These people are fools. The tent's not.
TJ says, I wrote a book about the... Oh, yeah. That's a good book, dude, by the way. I still haven't got... I have the copy just sitting around. I got to read it, man. I got to read it. I got so many other books that I'm reading right now that I keep forgetting to read it. I'm trying to see if silver's gonna pop down any further. I love it when silver goes down, though, man. Like I said, I'm a silver buyer. At the end of the day, I'm constantly trying to buy silver at its lowest possible price. And that's pretty much how I operate, though, man. I'm a silver dip buyer, any day of the week, every day of the week. I love it, man.
Big enough for both of them. When the commies come in, they're not going to share it. They're there to take you out. The communists are like parasites. They're going to use the Democratic Party to get ballot access, get elected, caucus with them when it works, and then suck them dry until they die. The party did it to themselves. They screwed up so badly and didn't deliver a damn thing when they had power that they had to play footsie with the commies to shore up their base. And now they're completely out of power. They're weak, brands in the toilet, and they opened the door just a crack, and danger walked right in. These people are cold-blooded revolutionaries who want to bury America. Bury it. Some Democrats get it.
Lady, I ain't in the same party as you. I'm sorry. They're just not. Everybody's always said, no, we're coalition, we're big tent. And there's just some that I can't be in the same tent with. These people do not like Democrats. Not only are they not Democrats, they wish Democrats poorly. But
I mean, look, I don't wish Democrats poorly. I don't. I'm afraid of what happens when Democrats have power because I know how much they abuse it. Because, like I said, collectivists tend to have a very authoritative personality. It just comes with the territory. When you believe in a stupid idea like socialism and communism, you're incompetent. And incompetent people tend to control other people. It's as simple as that, dude. So if you believe that communism's good for the government on a massive scale, you're probably an incompetent person. And you probably shouldn't have any power. That's all. Simple as that, dude. I know that you guys are angry at me because I'm correct in everything that I'm saying. I understand that. I understand that you guys are upset about how correct I am. And it's not easy to admit that you're wrong. I'm sorry. Everybody's mad at me. Everybody's mad at little old me. Everybody's mad.
I'm done. I'm not in that political party.
The Cajun Paul Revere. But the commie wave is creating a lot of cowards. Anonymous D.C. executives are calling it an earthquake, but they won't go public. Phones are ringing off the hook with people asking, quote, are we going to let them take over the party? Or are we going to stand up and fight back? That right there is the question.
You need to fight back against the communists, dude. The fact that communism is the fact that the Democrats are basically becoming the Communist Party of America. Can you believe that? The Democratic Party, I mean, they pretty much already were, but they're probably going to rename the Democrat Party the Communist Party, as they should, because they believe in communism, and communism's a shitty idea, and the Democrats are a shitty party. So, yeah, simple as that. Put two and two together, man. The fact that Mamdani and Bernie Sanders, two terrible socialists, awful, awful socialists. Well, here's the thing. Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mamdani, they're communists, basically. It's pretty obvious. They made it very clear that they love socialism. I know socialism is different from communism, but at the end of the day, socialism's still a bad idea too. Socialism is shitty. Socialism's a bad idea. It's a bad idea, dude. Parker says, open the door. Open the door, I'll make it quick. All right. What are you talking about, Parker? Dude, Parker, you're basically... Dude. This kid's a dummy. This kid's dumb as hell. The fuck? Idiot. TJ says we still have to... Hold on. We still have the Communist Act of 1953. We can remove... well, here's the thing. I do believe that people have the right... If people want to believe in communism and socialism, they have the right to believe in it. And if we, the people, are voting for these communists, we're the problem. If we're voting for this shit, I mean, I'm not, obviously, but if these people are, crazy. Oh, they're absolutely communists. They basically admit that they... Okay, so Zorhan Mamdani creating the government grocery stores in New York, that is a communist move. That is straight up a communist... That's out of a communist playbook, basically. Coyote 3 says, we all know why liberals don't want voter ID. We all know why. Exactly. Hezekiah says, tell him no. Joe McCarthy was right. He did nothing wrong. Thank you, Hezekiah. And, my boy Tallahassee, a.k.a. Nate Dogg, just sent a happy poop yum yum for 10 joules. Playing motherfucking Tetris, dude. Tetris. So, do you guys think that I should set up a separate camera that, like, records me playing Tetris or something like that? I got to see how much strain that would actually put. I'm going to ask ChatGPT real quick how much strain that would put to use two separate video sources. If I used two separate video sources in sources in Streamlabs OBS, would my computer and use them at the same time, would my computer be able to handle that? Or at least would my graphics card? Let me know what you think. So I'm trying to see if, like, because I'm considering actually plugging in my other webcam. I'm thinking about it. And I think I have the USB space. Hold on. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I actually have another port that I could utilize. Nice. Let's see. Yes, your computer should be able to handle two separate video sources at the same time, especially with your RTX 3070. The graphics card is not weak. Is not the weak point here in RTX. The handle overlays. CPU load. Two video sources can use CPU depending on source type. A webcam capture card, browser source, media file, blah, blah, blah. USB bandwidth. If both sources are USB webcams, plug them into different USB ports, preferably not right next to each other. Two 1080p 4K webcams on the same USB controller can cause lag, freezing, and stuttering. Got ya. Two sources at 1080p, 30 frames per second should be fine. Two sources at 4K, heavier, may be unnecessary for YouTube live streams. Okay. Okay, so Streamlabs can be heavier than regular OBS Studio. Your PC can likely handle it, but OBS Studio is usually more efficient. My recommendation is run both sources at 1080p. Use NVENC for encoding and watch your stats window. If CPU stays under roughly 70% and you're not dropping frames, you are good. For your setup, I'd feel confident with it. Your FTX 3070 is more than strong enough. The only real concern would be USB bandwidth or Streamlabs being bloated, not the graphics card. Got it. Okay. That's interesting. So, Nate Dogg says, what did Nate Dogg say here? Hold on. Draining. Hold on. This is fucking. Hold on. My chat's being stupid. Hold on. Nate Dogg says, draining a lake to ask if you could play Game Boy. TJ says, imagine telling people in 2002 that a Muslim socialist would become mayor of New York City in 25 years. Yeah, that still blows my mind, man. That actually does blow my mind. Not even trying to easy peasy. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so the goal is I want to take my old webcam, and I'm thinking about what port is this in? So, okay, so that's plugged into USB-C. That's good. I actually could. I want to make it, though, to where the webcam can see me playing the game. See, it's not a matter of getting the second webcam on the source. That's the problem. The real issue lies with getting the webcam, like, pointed downwards. Which you'd think that would be easy. In this case, though, it actually might be slightly more difficult than one would anticipate. You would be surprised. I want to make it to where I'm playing the Game Boy, and you could see me playing, like this. You could see my fingers doing that and stuff like that. You could see me play the game. And I think that'd be fun. Then you could see me. Maybe you could see me at the bottom of the screen, and then you could see the game that I'm playing on the top of the screen. You know what I mean? That'd be fun. Because I really do love handheld gaming. And I would like to see... I'd like to see it make a bit of a comeback, for sure. Now, the question is, how am I going to do this? Like I said, the camera would need to be looking down, right? So if I can have the camera, somehow find a way to have the camera looking down, that would be preferable. That would be preferable. You know, I'm still trying to think how I want to pull this off, you guys. Sorry about that. I still want to try to pull this off at least. If you guys can, though, don't forget to send a happy poop yum yum. The more happy poop yum yums we get, the better. Let's watch a little more Jesse Waters because he makes me wet.
And can the Democrats fight commies and Trump? They've been fighting Trump.
TJ is asking, would an extra camera take attention from videos you're reacting to? Well, I mean, the whole point is if I wanted to, so for example, I wanted to do a video where I want to do live videos where I'm playing my Game Boy, right? But I want you guys to see the games that I'm playing. For example, let's say I have my webcam up here. It's looking at me, right? And then up top in this frame right here where Jesse Waters is at, instead of having Jesse Waters, it would be a second camera source that would be looking down at my Game Boy. So you would see the game that I'm playing, you would see my hands moving and shit on one video source, which would be up here, and then you would see me playing the game intently as possible. And yeah. You know what oh no, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say I could put the camera on my body, but then again, it's gonna be a wired camera, so that's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt. So when it's wired, it's a little more of a pain in the ass, and that's where it gets tricky, because I want this camera to look at me, obviously, and then I want there to be another camera that's looking directly at the Game Boy Color, and you could see me, and you could see me playing the Game Boy Color. Now, granted, I still can't believe this, man. I can't believe I found Tetris. It's crazy. It's freaking wild, man. I was thinking about buying a few Game Boy games at the local Recycle Games place. And it just seems definitely up my alley, for sure. But yeah, no, Game Boys and Fox Entertainment, both fun. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, that's exactly what I'd be doing, man. I'd be trying to, trying to get this thing to work, at least, you know. Oh, okay. So TJ is saying, so you wouldn't be reacting to Jesse Waters at the same time? Well, actually, that could be something I could do. I could play Tetris and react to Jesse Waters. That could be a possibility. I think I could pull that off, actually. Maybe.
So hard they.
Did I buy the Donkey Kong oldies? No, I don't have any Donkey Kong games on here. All I have on this is just Tetris. That's all I got so far is Tetris. But I am thinking about going to a few. I'm thinking about going to a few pawn shops, going to garage sales. I need to check garage sales and see if there are people who are like, "Ooh, you know what I could do? Fuck, let's check Facebook Marketplace." Hold on, Facebook. Facebook Marketplace. Let's see. I want to look up Game Boy games. Let's see if we have any Game Boy games here. Oh, we got old Game Boy games. Let's take a look. Oh, dude. Whoa. So this person's selling like all the old Pokemon games. You kidding me? Whoa. Oh, the Pokemon games have already been sold. Of course they have. I mean, it's Pokemon games. Those are freaking classics, dude. Let me see. I'm seeing what else we got here. Within 40 miles. Let's see. Well, let's look up Game Boy. Game Boy games. Or just look up Game Boy. Let's look up Game Boy. So that's tight. It's Pikachu Special Edition. Spider-Man. Well, it looks like nobody's really selling anything as far as Game Boy games are concerned, you know? You know, it's funny. They actually had some interesting games for the Game Boy back in the day, I will admit. Well,
they got a blind spot. Ask any general. When you're fighting someone on the left and on the right, that means you're surrounded. That means you better have a big old gun and a big old bunker. Guerrilla warfare on the left, conventional warfare on the right. The Democratic Party, as it stands today, can't win that battle. They can't beat Trump, and they're afraid of their own base. And
yeah, that sucks because the Democrat Party's like shit. We have the crazy communists taking over the party. That sucks. And it's basically a bunch of stupid young kids that don't know any better. And it's not that many. There's really not that many. Not many people think that communism's smart. Not many. Most people think that communism's ridiculous. And I tend to agree with them. Because communism is ridiculous.
Democrats, they don't know who to trust. Like AOC. Whose side is she on? Well, I think we know.
I feel like it's deja vu all over again.
Oh, geez.
So much-
AOC is the epitome of why she's the typical socialist. Because in socialism, you don't have to think. You're not really allowed to think anyway. And it's people like AOC that I'm just like, dude, how did she get so far in politics, man?
Fear around that. When
Big Boy
was
Studio
elected,
says hi. What up,
and
dude?
None of it bore out to be true.
None of it bore out to be true? The squad defunded the police and gave us riots, crime, and DEI. And AOC's little friend Omar, her Somali buddies cost us $18 billion.
Yep.
And this new crew is to the left of them.
Yep.
These people want taxpayer...
These people are even further left, which is crazy.
...funded sex change surgeries. No borders, no prisons, no police. You know how you start a revolution? Same playbook. You raid the treasury, empty the prisons, and take out the cops. These people said we deserve 9/11, and they got elected in New York.
That is messed up, dude. That is messed up. I mean, they shouldn't have been elected to begin with. These communists, dude, there's no way in hell. But somehow these communists were elected, and somehow it happened.
Matt Taibbi writes this, quote, "The Zoran Revolution is a whole hog,
TJ says, I still have my NES with Duck Hunt and the gun with the box at my mom's house in Iowa. It's probably what, dude, that is very much so worth something. By the way, any sort of vintage video game system, along with any games, that shit's worth something, man. That shit is worth something. Like, if you check eBay, oh my God. You check eBay, man, it's worth something, man. It is worth something.
real thing version of Marxian socialism, instantly recognizable to anyone who's ever lived in a socialist country. This movement's young, it's ethnic, media savvy, with a real desire to overthrow the American system. Whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Chevalier, one of the Bandani extremists, called Manhattan occupied Lenape land and says we need to become bad bitches and seize the means of production. Yeah. This is the woman who says she wants to eradicate Western civilization. She's never had a job. She's been a grad student for 7 years. Pocahontas was asked about her, and she played dumb.
A world without borders and a world without prisons or police is possible if necessary, the only moral way forward. She said, abolish the border, all deportation is wrong. I mean, are those sentiments that you think Democratic candidates should hold?
Look, I don't know her. I'm not familiar with what she's written.
They pulled the same thing with Plattner. Oh, I'm not familiar with these allegations that he's...
I don't know what this person's about. Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Abusing women. He's abusing women? I don't know him. Well, does the communist admit she's a communist on live cable TV?
All sorts of Republicans ads to say, this is what you're going to get if you vote for the Democrats, a communist.
For far too long, this reactive conversation of what we should be afraid of has prevented us from being able to have a politics of hope and a politics of life that Democrats can actually identify with.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The politics of hope and the politics of life, to be honest, is one where communists don't have power. If you want decimation, give a communist power. You want a shitty society, give a communist power. You want to create poverty and not wealth, give a communist some power. TJ says his brother met Pocahontas recently. He likes her. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't think I don't think Elizabeth Warren's too bad, but she does say some boneheaded things, and I'm like, ugh. I'm sure she's a nice person, but damn, does she say some stupid shit. Damn, dude.
That wasn't an answer. She's a communist, and she's slick. And we told you last night, these commies have friends in high places.
They're not afraid of the term democratic socialism. I'm not scared of the term. I think they're scared of...
Laugh out loud.
Dark City,
Susan
what up, dude?
Collins was her husband mistress.
Susan Collins was her husband's mistress? What? What are you talking about, Dark City? Can you elaborate, please? I'm not exactly sure. Hey, but thank you. I'm going to highlight that super chat, though, by the way. Everybody give a shout out to Dark City 2004 for the super chat. I really appreciate it, brony bro. You're a pink brony bro, and you dance at the gay clubs. Oh, my God. I'm just having fun.
Of the term in this country, but the Social Security is a democratic socialism. Partly unemployment insurance is. The people who pick up your garbage, the people who take the fire out at your house, all of these things are democratic socialism.
That's insane. That is not fucking true, dude. That is not fucking true. You know it.
Having a fire department isn't communism. See, what she's doing is she's trying to soft pedal it. But eventually, they'll come for Joy. You let them have their way, they're going to take all Joy's money. But the person with the most to lose? Schumer. Politico says Schumer's office facing a 5-alarm fire. He's feeling that Latin heat.
I would say to Chuck Schumer, dude, you're in danger because this, I think, puts a lot of wind in the sails of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Cortez, the conquistador, is sailing straight at Schumer's seat.
Are you more inclined to possibly run for Senate after seeing the results of the 3 races in New York?
I think, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be breaking any news here. I'm definitely inspired and encouraged by all the new faces that we're going to be sending.
I don't know. The fact that young people are thinking that socialism and communism are good ideas is proof positive that young people have never read a history book or don't understand history of socialism and how detrimental socialism has been over all the years. It's pretty sad. Socialism just leaves destruction and sadness in the wake, man. That's all it does. That's all it does.
State Assembly and to Congress.
Hip's days are numbered. Mondani's going to tap a commie to give Hakeem a red card.
Are you concerned at all about a primary challenge in 2 years from, a Mamdani endorsed candidate?
When you ask me a serious question, I'll give you a serious answer.
Hakeem's running around D.C. and
Hakeem Jeffries is that's another insufferable Democrat that I'm just like, ugh. Hakeem freaking Jeffries, dude, give me a break.
Everyone's telling him he's next. CNBC, they said grow a pair before it's too late.
They were saying you're next about Hakeem Jeffries. You're next. You're next. You're next. You can't think this is.
Well, the Democratic Party, first off, sucks, but it's going to get worse if you have guys like Mamdani, and if you have guys like Bernie Sanders and Mamdani and AOC running the Democrat Party. That's just sad. That just shows how far the Democrat Party has fallen. When you have socialism and communism being your main talking point in the party, your party has fallen off a cliff. It's true. I think you all know it's true.
This is a positive development in New York politics, can you? And they'll just, Dems will be Dems or something like that. I don't see how you can say that. You need You need to reject those things, I think.
First of all, I've clearly rejected those things. That's number one.
Hakeem and Schumer just watched a band of Marxists run up in their backyard and plant a flag. Pelosi never would have let it get this far. She's from San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to keep the kooks in line. These two dudes are getting walked all over.
Oh, yeah. They are getting boned.
The View just declared a winner.
I think that New York is the nation's cultural and political capital, and that's just a fact.
Oh, come on. Come on now.
And I think the Democratic Socialists of America is a force to be reckoned with at this point.
Civil war is going to be ugly. Democrats, TV hosts, Hollywood, they're all going to have to take sides. What's Obama going to say? Nothing. What about Kamala, Clinton, Biden? One of these commies called Joe Biden a rapist and a war criminal. She called Obama evil.
Oh, man. The Democrat Party's turning into the Communist Party. The Democrat Party is turning into the Communist Party. Holy crap.
These people are here to purge the heavyweights out of the party, straight up. And the more the Democrat establishment fights back against the commie wave, the wave will just get bigger. Being attacked by the establishment legitimizes the commies with the base. The brawl is going to last years. Morning Joe, the must-see Beltway show that keeps the Democratic coalition together, is in mourning.
You have a real wave happening. Joe, I think the Democratic Party, and you've got now two Democratic Socialists, is taking on an overall persona. This is where the energy is in the party. You and I can agree to disagree on this. I believe the Democratic Party overall is going too hard left. I believe there is anti-Semitism in there. We'll save that for another day. But I believe this is a branding issue for the Democrats that they are going to have to answer for.
Branding? Well, if you let communists into your party, then you're okay with communism.
Yeah.
What kind of American political party hears someone say, oh, well, we're here to destroy Western civilization, and says, come on in, Big Tent. That's like, you're the babysitter? Your name's Charles Manson? Come on in. Big tent. Are they a threat? Absolutely. Are they also so stupid it's kind of funny? Yes.
Yes.
One of these little elves actually wants to have government-run airlines.
My hot take is we need to abolish pre-check. I've got like a million beefs with the airline industry and the process of having to fly. We need to like nationalize the airline industry. But let's start by abolishing pre-check.
So no pre.
Oh man, these communists just want to make life worse. I know they do. They do. Oh shit, stinking communist. All right, fine, communist. Keep going. Let's see what Jesse Waters has to say. God, Jesse Waters, I love you so much, dude. So awesome. Oh. God, Jesse Waters is so freaking hot.
Check, no clear. Everybody waits in one big old line.
Yep.
And Mayor Pete's your pilot. New York's actually been dipping its toes into communism for a while. Nearly half the city's on Medicaid.
Oh, geez.
20% of the city on food stamps. One out of every 3 renters lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, like the rent hasn't gone up in 30 years. 5% of New York City lives in the projects. New York City has a bigger budget than.
Hey, I do want to give a shout out though, real quick, before we watch Jesse Waters trash the crap out of New York City for being terrible, because he's basically trashing the fact that everything is free. It's not free, by the way. If you study economics, somebody's got to pay for it. That's the point. Somebody's got to pay for it in labor, in some sort of way. Whenever you see politicians offering free this, free that, know that they're lying to you and that it's not actually free. It comes out of your pocket eventually. You just don't see it yet. And that's the problem with communism. TJ says that Islam, communism, socialism all hate Christians. It is the anti-establishment in the Book of Revelations in the Bible. Bible and C is on. Yeah, that's. I mean, TJ's speaking a truth. It's an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I just got caught up in looking at random shit. Tim Smith says, "What is this channel? Just some guy sitting here staring into space." You're right, dude. Honestly, I was zoning out a little bit. I was looking at some random stuff on the internet. Does this guy know his webcam is on? Tim, I'm aware. I know. My bad. All right, let's keep watching.
In the whole state of Florida, and we're still in debt. No wonder.
By the way, Tim Smith, man, check it out. Boom. Game Boy Color. I found it in a tote box. One of my old tote boxes, and it still has Tetris in it. I got it to work, and I got a PlayStation Portable, the PSP, that has Tekken Dark Resurrection in it, so that's very exciting. PSP was actually, I think it was a hell of a console, dude. PSP was out of this world.
Everything's free, and the rest is stolen. Now, it's not just foreigners voting commie. These liberal women, you know, they get the college degrees in, like, sociology. They move into Manhattan, and they can't get a job. Shocking. So they can't afford rent. So a bunch of single women with no jobs and degrees have to shack up in the same apartment in the Bronx. And they've been taught in school America's evil, so they get angry. And they vote communist to get revenge. They call these women downwardly mobile. And they're going to take the whole city down with them. But we're not going to let them do it. Last night, Trump spoke at the Great American State Fair and reminded us that life can be hard, but we persevere and always, always win.
Americans crossed the Great Plains, scaled the mighty Rockies, tamed the Wild West, and turned this continent into industrial powerhouses like nobody has ever seen.
I feel like in today's era, in today's age, people don't have as much of a purpose. It feels like there's just not as much purpose as there used to be, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a sense of purposelessness that people feel. And to be honest, I actually get it. Sometimes I feel that way myself, which is why, like, when people tell me, like, hey, I feel like I don't have a purpose, it's like, I actually get it. And I feel like people back in the day, pioneers of back in the day, felt like they just had a stronger purpose, you know? Maybe they felt that things were worth maybe living for, sort of thing. I don't know. It's interesting, though, man. It's very, very interesting.
We laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built the great highways, invented the airplane, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism. We're going to have to do that again.
Most of the country isn't on the commie train. Most of us think they're all crazy.
If you look at Democrats nationwide, look at this. Democratic Socialists are on the positive side of the ledger at plus 17 points. This includes Democratic-leaning independents. But look at all voters. A completely different world. 27.
Yeah, because all voters, by the way, a lot of us realize that communism is insanity. Nobody really likes communism. We all know it's a crock of shit. We all know it's been tried several times in the past with nothing but failure.
7 points underwater.
You know who else thinks the communists are crazy? The Supreme Court. In a major win for the America First movement, 6-3 vote.
Tim Smith is saying Garza getting loot crates from the 90s. Retro loot crates are the new pineapple dipped in Kool-Aid. That's funny, dude. That's God, Tim, you're amazing, dude. I love you, bro. Joho Sokso, what's up? Chow, I'm gonna call you Chow. What up, Cho? Cho Sokso Monian. What up, Brony? Tish Lay says Mega is all inclusive if you want to come out of the dark side. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, I just, one of the reasons I'm not going to say I'm mega per se. I'm pretty independent overall. But I will say this. I'm definitely anti-Democrat. That's for sure. The Democrat Party lost me a long time ago. The Democrat Party, when I was younger, I voted Democrat, yes. When I was really, we're talking about 18 to 20, right? As I got older, though, I started to realize, I was like, yeah, the Democrat Party is so stupid. The Democrat Party is so dumb. And I'll say this. I will say that I lean way more MAGA than I do anything else. I like the Make America Great Again movement. And yeah, I'm Trump sexual. I'm a big Trump fan. At the end of the day, I'm a Trump fan. Okay? Admittedly, I love Trump. I think he's great. Zacho, what up, dude? Said hi, what up? How you doing, Brony?
Otis just said the government is allowed to turn away asylum seekers at the border, meaning Latin America can't just caravan up to Texas, claim asylum, and we have to let them in. And
oh, hold on. Before we... So wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, because the communists don't believe in borders. They believe in open borders. That's the scary thing about these communists. They want the American border to be open and just to let anybody through. No checks, no balances. Doesn't matter if they're a criminal. It just seems like they want open borders and they just don't care. Look, a good nation needs good borders. I'm sorry. Border security matters. Tim Smith says Caitlin Clark got hit in the throat. Really? Was she throat punched by another angry you-know-what? Caitlin Clark, I think I heard something about this too.
Here in the second quarter, a 41-38 Fever advantage. Clark, defended by Held, lost her footing. Kick out to Boston. 3 doesn't go.
Streaking to the basket, and here's what hustle plays are all about. You got 3 Phoenix players around Caitlin Clark, and yeah.
Oh, dude. What she was doing, that was a dirty play. That was a dirty fucking play, dude. That's a cheap shot right there. That is a cheap shot, dude.
I mean, Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, dude. I don't like that shit. Yeah, that's some Draymond Green crap, dude. Draymond Green would do that shit. Everybody loves an Asmund Gould clip.
Oh my God. Man. How the f can Daredevil be a lifeguard? He's fucking blind.
That's his takeaway. I like that. That's funny.
In another ruling, 6-3-2, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration.
TJ says, I went to the same college. She says, but a decade earlier. Not sure. Not sure what my boy TJ's talking about, but that's okay. He might be replying to somebody else in the chat. Nyla want to be a cowboy, baby.
That Syrians and Haitians are no longer protected. The president can revoke their protected status and get them the heck out of the country pronto. Here's Miller.
It has never been the case, to go back to the Haiti example, that you can just take 3 million people from a failed island, put them into America, and overnight that they are able to become fully successful, fully assimilated American citizens. That defies everything we know about how
Stephen Miller's right on that one, man. It's like, how ridiculous is that to just put these people, you know what I mean, who don't know anything about American culture, who essentially, you know what I mean? Like, and they're just expected to easily assimilate. That's just not how it works. That's just not how it works, brother. Yeah, I agree. Stephen Miller's a stud, dude. I love Stephen Miller, by the way. You can't just take people from a third world country, put them in a first world country, and expect them to behave like we do. It's a different world. TJ says, Caitlin Clark was from Iowa, and I went to Iowa and Iowa State. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I love Caitlin Clark, dude. I think she's great. Like, I am so mad that she gets bullied on the court, dude. That pisses me off, man. Like, she gets bullied because she's more successful than all the other. You know, it's like, dude, Caitlin Clark, the only reason she's bullied is because she's successful. And I'm not saying the bullying is correct. I think the bullying is awful. Just because somebody's more successful than you doesn't mean that you need to start being violent towards them. You know what I mean? And this is why nobody watches the WNBA. Well, I mean, WNBA is boring as shit anyway. But honestly, the more that we see Caitlin Clark get beat up, the more we don't want to watch it. I do not support the WNBA at all, dude. I don't. Mainly because it's a bunch of jealous you-know-whats who don't like the fact that Caitlin Clark is successful. Now, you're probably wondering what the you-know-whats is all about. Well, I'll just say it begins with an L. A bunch of L's. That are jealous that she's straight. That's my opinion. It's just an opinion.
culture works, how assimilation works, how nations work.
Justice Clarence Thomas says this, quote, aliens have no equal protection rights against the federal government. The Mondani commies may have won a small battle in Manhattan, but these two court rulings hit like atomic bombs. It seals the border and lets Trump deport millions of illegals. The Republican Party has to go on offense against these communists, but defense wins championships. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
Hell yeah, dude. Jesse Waters is kicking butt, dude. Let's see what else we got. I want to look at some things about the PSP. How to mod any PSP on any firmware in 2026. That's kind of tight. Hell yeah. Transfer the file down. Okay, so SD card file transfer. Interesting. Hold on. What's this all about?
One size fits all model that should work for like 95 to 98% of you. However, if you have a special rare case scenario with very weird errors, well, don't worry about it because we got you covered. And after going through the main installation process, I'll be showing you exactly where these errors are coming from and how to fix them. So everything that you need should be right here, as long as you're trying to install ARC on a PSP that isn't bricked. And no, we're not going to be covering the installation process for the Vita users. We're going to have a dedicated video for it sometime in the future. So for now, it's going to be all about the PSP and only the PSP. Now, as much as I want to get the installation process going, I'll be briefly going over the different types of file transfers for those beginners. If you already know what's up, you can skip ahead. Alright, so the first standard method of copying files to a PSP is by USB. For the 1000, 2000, 3000, and E1000 models, you'll need to get yourself a mini USB cable. And of course...
And yep, I got one of those. And then, now, this is what I don't have. So a Memory Stick Pro Duo. So there's like one that I can put a micro SD card in. That's cool.
For this process, with these models that I mentioned, you'll need to get yourself a memory card. And if you don't know what to get, I've got an entire video about it that you can find in the description down below. So go ahead and insert it, connect your USB cable, plug in the other end to your computer, and it should automatically switch to USB mode, in which it will show your memory card as a new storage device. As for the PSP Go, it uses a unique proprietary cable, but the cool thing about the PSP Go is it's got 16 gigabytes of built-in storage, so you don't necessarily need a memory card. Like I said, you plug it in here, plug the other side to your computer, and it should automatically switch to USB mode. If it doesn't automatically switch, you can go ahead and help it out by going to the settings and USB connection.
This is dope as hell, dude. Hell yeah. That looks really neat. I'll have to look into that later. Okay, let's see.
Your stomach calling? Need a processed meal to destroy your insides? Look no further than Goy Slop, the place where food controls you. Our secret Israeli designed brown goo will kill you.
I don't know if I should watch all that. That's funny though, dude. That's great, dude. Asmon's amazing. I want to see if there are people who still use PSPs. So this person says why I carry a PSP and why you should game. Okay. Well, I will admit, I still am very excited that I got the PSP. Like straight up, like I'm excited that I was able to find it more than anything. It was so cool. So fucking cool. Oh yeah, and by the way, it can still be used as like an MP3 player, for example. It's crazy. It has multiple, like it's a great gaming console, but it also makes for a good MP3 player too.
This is the PSP 3000 model, and in my experience, it's one of the few devices that can
So I have the PSP 1000 model. That's what I got.
genuinely improve your relationship with video games. Unlike modern consoles and smartphones, it doesn't fight for your attention, and that completely changes how gaming feels.
And that's the best thing about classic games is I could play old single player games. And there's a lot of them that I still haven't played. There are full libraries for old gaming consoles that I still haven't played. And I want to play. And I feel like PSP, man, is just truly an amazing console. It's one of the best, dude. TJ says he's been up for 20 hours. Oh, have a good night, brother. Have a good night, man. Get your rest, man. Get your rest. Love you, brother. Hey, make sure you guys check out my buddy's channel, Stocks Family Farm. Dude's a stud, by the way. And he goes down to the different protests when he can. And he goes to pretty much all of them, though. It's awesome. And he kicks ass. So if you guys want to show support, make sure you subscribe to TJ, watch his videos, and he's awesome, man. Amazing.
Playing on the PSP made games feel healthier and more meaningful. Instead of being something I mindlessly consumed, gaming became something I chose to do, something I could actually enjoy without guilt or distraction. And surprisingly, this didn't just affect how I play games.
Oh, Tekken Dark Resurrection, by the way, that's the game I've been playing.
Improve my focus and creativity in almost every other area of my life. That's why in this video, I want to share how owning a simple handheld console like the PSP can completely change your relationship with games, and maybe even improve the way you relate to technology and your life as a whole.
Yeah, honestly, the PSP is such a fabulous console. Like, I really love it a lot. Like, I think, and I don't know what the major downfall of the PSP ultimately was, but I think the PlayStation Portable is far better than anything that Nintendo's come up with. I actually respect the hell out of the PlayStation Portable. I thought it was innovative. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the best handheld devices I'd ever seen. I fell in love with it, man. I thought it was great.
Almost every console today seems to be getting bigger, less portable, and more addictive. The PSP 3000 model feels different. At first glance, it doesn't seem like anything special. It's small, simple, and clearly from another time. This model is almost 18 years old, and yet the moment you pick it up, you understand why it still holds up as a portable gaming device. It's light, it feels comfortable in the hand, the buttons are good enough. And there is an immediate sense of familiarity when you hold it. There's a quiet kind of nostalgia to it, not just because it's old, but because it knows exactly what it's supposed to be. But nostalgia is not the main reason why this device matters. The real value of the PSP lies in something deeper. This device allows you to become intentional about gaming by separating tasks between devices. Today, most of us rely on a single device, usually our phone or laptop.
Yeah, and look, I love doing a lot of stuff on my computer, for example, but when I'm out and about, and, maybe I do want to play a video game, I'll play it on the, now I get to play it on my PSP. And also, I got my Game Boy Color, dude. This thing's amazing. Got Tetris on here. But it's nice. I could be singularly focused on one thing and not have my attention pulled away to something else. I love it, man.
To handle almost everything in our lives, and paradoxically, when a device can do it.
All right, so I do want to react to one more Trump video or something Trump related, and then I'm going to go to bed. Coyote 3 just gifted a happy poop yum yum. Thank you, Coyote. I appreciate you, man. Everybody give a shout out to Coyote 3 for the happy poop yum yum. if you guys want to support the channel, all we ask is that you do send something, even if it's like a simple happy poop. I mean, those really go a long way, more than you realize. So 1,000 happy poops, man. 1,000 happy poops helps a lot. It's all one needs, dude. It's all you need. Oh, Asmund did a, hold on.
Guys, gentlemen, everybody, we are back again at Allcraft. Today, I'm joined with Rich. We had somebody else who was going to be here with us, but unfortunately, they were affected by a close friend of theirs was Oliver Tree. And so they're taking some time off to deal with that, process all that. Really crazy. Like, honestly, I'm never going to ride in a helicopter in my fucking life.
Dude.
I never will. Like, after Kobe and this Oliver Tree thing, fuck that.
It's so wild how dangerous they seem.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. Helicopters, man, I would not want to. Me personally, I couldn't. Airplane makes sense to me. But outside of it, though, like, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's insane.
Have you ever been in one?
Never. And I like as soon as like, because like whenever I was like first, like, I mean, when do you ever get a chance to get in a helicopter? Like, basically never.
So I've been in a helicopter before. One time. And the second that I did it, I was like, never again.
Fuck this.
I was with a bunch of other streamers too. And then I was like, okay, I never want to be in enclosed space with streamers ever again either.
Smart.
Yeah. So I was like, helicopters and being in a tight enclosed space with streamers, I'm done.
Yeah.
It was actually, all jokes aside, it was actually, you remember Jack Courage?
Yeah.
He was one of the guys in there. And it was a bunch of like the Call of Duty guys.
Like
and it was like
all that.
not Dennis. Thank God, not Dennis. yeah. That helicopter would have been that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
I love Dennis, man. I actually hit him up to have him come on at some point.
Yeah.
If he's ever in, I would love him to just like actually be in the state.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I got on and I swear on my life we were flying around Atlanta.
Yeah.
And the thing is just like super jittery. And the pilot turned around and he said, "Don't worry, it's just mechanical turbulence." And he burped and it smelled like Tito's. And I kissed
Oh, that's hilarious.
the ground when I got off.
Oh my
God.
I
was never again. But yeah, no, the Oliver Tree thing is like such a shame.
It's so sad. And like there was a YouTuber also that was apparently killed in the wreck as well. He had almost like 3 million subscribers. He was a Spanish YouTuber, so like we're probably not familiar with him. But like, yeah, I remember seeing it, and it was like some random, because like, you know, you'll have like stories like this come up, like, oh, Joe Rogan died. Okay, it must be Tuesday, right? And so it's like, it's not really a big thing. I didn't even really take it seriously, but then I got up and I saw like headline after headline after headline. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, Oliver Tree also, I think he did back in the day, like it was like rest in peace to his bowl cut, and then there was like bus signs. So I think people thought it was a joke because he made jokes.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, because I actually like I loved that dude. Like I didn't know him or anything, but like as an artist, I thought he was super
music.
cool.
There was never a time that I turned off an Oliver Tree song.
But if you actually,
I actually don't know who Oliver Tree is. Like, admittedly, this is the first time, as far as I know, that I've heard of Oliver Tree. And honestly, like, I heard about the whole helicopter crash thing, but I've never actually listened to any of his stuff. But it just sucks, man. It's sad. Like when Kobe got killed in the helicopter crash, that was rough on me because I'd always, I'd actually copied Kobe Bryant a little bit in the way that I shot the basketball from time to time. The kind of that sort of shot. But I copied Kobe a little bit, and but yeah, no, and Kobe, when the whole Kobe helicopter crash thing happened, man, I was like, fuck. Just he was legitimately one of my favorite NBA players of all time, and just to see a guy like that, just to see that happen was just devastating. That's awful. Coyote 3 says, R.I.P. Kobe. I grew up playing ball. He was amazing. Yeah. Just amazing dude. I honestly thought Kobe Bryant was a very interesting human being. A little bit psychotic for sure. But he was very determined to be successful at what he did. And he did a fantastic job at that. One of the best basketball player of all time, in my opinion, next to Jordan. Jordan is still the GOAT. For sure. But Kobe's definitely second best of all time. In my opinion, just the sheer will and grit. Amazing. But I will say this, you guys, I am pretty tired right now. I'm just feeling drained to no end. And I think I'm gonna hit the hay, you guys. I really am tired. Just make sure that you guys have an incredible night. Sleep well. I need to go to bed. I'm freaking exhausted. I want to play my PSP. It's really, I got to admit, it's really cool to know that, because honestly, I've been trying to spend less time on this thing. And look this device, I just want to let you guys know, has been a true savior and a godsend for me. This thing has been amazing. But at the same time, I don't know, dude. Coyote 3 says, David, people are crazy. And then Coyote 3 says, sweet dreams, beautiful. Thank you, Coyote. I appreciate you, brother. Coyote 3, everybody. We love Coyote 3. He's cool. Amazing dude. Annie, I think Annie might be in bed or something like that. But Annie, I hope you have a good night. Tish, have an incredible night. Tim Smith, I love you, brother. If you're still watching, have an incredible night, brother. And by the way, dude, did you, Tim, if you're still watching, did you see those Our Lady Peace short videos that I posted to the channel? I posted there's 3 videos of the Verve pipe, and then 6 of Our Lady Peace. So if you guys get bored, check out some of the videos that I had shot for the Verve pipe and Our Lady Peace when I was at their concert in Portland. I haven't really been talking about it as much, but I should. But you guys really should check out those short videos. If you look at my channel, look at the short video section, you'll see those concert clips. It was fun, dude. The Verve pipe was incredible. Their sound is incredible. Like, when I was listening to Our Lady Peace, man, their guitar work, phenomenal. Like the sound, whoever was doing the sound at the Roseland Theater, my God, they are amazing. Like that is some high level, high quality sound at that venue. It really is. It's beyond incredible. But yeah, Tim, if you're still watching, man, check that shit out, dude. Check that shit out, dude. Drum Dude AZ says Verb Pipe is great. Yeah, they're amazing, dude. I had so much fun listening to them. Coyote 3 says, remind me when that Android app invite goes out. I don't check my email that often. Well, so I'm not doing the closed test just yet, and the reason I'm not doing it yet is because I don't have enough emails. By the way, Coyote 3, if you know anybody who might be interested in beta testing the app, or at least, doing a closed test of the app, or if they would be maybe not interested, but maybe willing to do that, please, and I mean please, have them reach out to me via email. Like, have them reach out, because I will gladly add them to the list. Trying to add them to the list, but have I listened to 1975? Are you talking about, is that the song that's by the Smashing Pumpkins? If that's the one that I think it is, then yes. If not, then no. If that's the song I'm thinking of. I don't know, you guys. Sorry, I'm too tired. I'm going to end the stream right now. I love you guys. Drum Dude, have a great night, brother. I'm going to end the stream. Love you guys. Make sure if you guys haven't already, tap the subscribe button. Oh, okay. 1975 is the name of a band. I don't think I've ever heard of them before. But I will say, I'll have to check them out as soon as possible, man. But hey, thank you guys. Oh, the 1975. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I'll catch you guys later. Make sure if you guys haven't already, tap the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on any future shows. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a pretty laid back, pretty boring episode, to be honest. Probably my most boring episode of all time, but I do hope you guys had a good time tonight. Just have an incredible evening and stay sexy. Good night, Garza. You're the go. Hey, thank you, Tiny Lion Gaming. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, Coyote 3, I have some past work colleagues that worked for Verizon, a bunch of geeks. Hey, anybody, by the way, dude, anybody who's interested, man, give them my email address. Like, hey, be like, here, garzabrands@gmail.com. Email this guy because he needs some people to do some closed testing on his app. TLG says, on good night, Garza, you're the GOAT. Thank you, Tiny Lion Game, and I appreciate you, bro.